Hello and welcome to Over the Balls podcast, another great edition of Masterpiece Theatre. Today, Kevin Morans, Nick Peterson, Scott Kempkin, Mike Garrison, and me, your host, Jeff Crutcher, joined to tell you great tales of motocross experiences. Among the fairest of men, have you 4 hard card holding professional riders and 1 man with a golden voice. Today's edition of Over the Balls Masterpiece Theatre is brought to you by none other than Donnell's Motorcycles, located in Independence, Missouri. The Kansas Motocross Championship Series. Make motocross great again, and do it in Kansas. Bar to Bar, the sandiest track found in the nether regions of Wichita. And our newest sponsor, Sickwix. Scott just pointed to his innovative logo. He ain't no fucking sponsor of ours. This is OTB.
Who's this?
Nick.
Kevin.
Mike.
Scott. Jeff.
We're here.
And we're live.
Bam.
I hate that, as I said that, like 7 people put their phones down.
Well, I have the chat.
I'm trying to tell people to tune into
I
our
don't know
chat.
what he's
Oh,
listening.
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, I got the chat over here because I can't see that far.
If the people are not already tuned in, fuck them.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah, fair, whatever.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm done. I was posting you. All right.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? I'll go delete that shit right now because you know what? Not gonna hear
posts
your big dumb
everything.
voice even more than I do now.
Yeah. That's nice.
So, we're here.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. See you later.
Good
See you
show.
next.
Well, see you later.
Mike,
Yo.
that thing's really sensitive.
So back up even more?
Just a hair. Yeah.
Okay.
See, okay, that's...
Look at me exploding.
Yeah, that one's you. See where it exploded there? So not quite that far.
Okay, how about here?
Just a hair closer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep, right there.
Okay,
Boom. That's the spot.
So if I watch that bottom bar down there and it starts exploding.
Yeah, that means you're too loud.
Okay.
And then you and Kevin are on the same channel. So Kevin. Chevin.
Yeah.
See, that's your voice
Okay.
right there. Okay, and that's
Turn your
now hold on. That's
noise off there,
picking
big
up
dog.
perfectly fine. Okay.
Okay.
And then Nick, let me give us some audio here.
Audio from Nick is
Perfectly.
coming.
Okay, as long as it's not topping out and it's not just a tiny little squiggle, then we're all good. So if you're wondering if you're being too quiet or too loud, just look right here. See how my voice is? It's like right in that middle region
Where's
right there.
mine? Let me
Oh, it's
see mine.
perfect,
Okay,
Jeff.
so
Which one's mine?
Jeff, Scott, Nick, and then you guys are on the bottom, even though it says Nick.
Oh, okay. I see mine right there.
So me and
Mike.
Mike are on the same one.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Also, don't put your phone on top of the cable, Mike. That goes for you too.
Makes it scratchy.
Yeah, it makes that weird sound.
I got you.
Could you? What sound? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making
Do you
sure.
remember back in the day with the old phones, like when you were sitting in class, you weren't supposed to have your phone, you were near a computer, and the speakers would go.
It's the same thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That wasn't that long ago. The olden days. What did you say?
That was like 05.
Yeah.
That was 13 years ago.
Look at that quick
I was
math.
6.
Look at that quick math. How old were you?
I was 6.
6.
Dude, when did you start racing dirt bikes?
When I started riding, I think, when I was 3, but I started racing when I was 4.
On a PW?
Yep. Yellow.
Oh, you still had, so that would have been like an early 80. What year was it?
I have
Was
no
yellow?
idea what year it was.
It just was old.
Yes.
I
She
don't know.
ripped, though.
Nick, no.
Dragoon days.
Oh, that was, of course, that was the first track you raced.
Oh,
on.
yeah. That's all we raced until I got like
Where?
150s.
Dragoon?
Yeah, Dragoon.
Oh,
Goon
yeah.
Dragon.
To this day, I've still never been there.
Dude.
Are you
Never
serious?
ever been there.
It's like
never been to
Knobby
Dragoon?
Hill.
Never been to Dragoon.
It's like Knobby Hill. It's got a really cool layout, but the prep just sucks.
Look at this look I'm getting right now for never going to Dragoon. I've never been there. Seriously.
You're not a true motocrosser.
Yeah,
It's true.
come on, man.
I've been to Sprout Patch.
That
I've
doesn't-
never even heard of that.
That's before my time.
That
So-
was, yeah, before your time. All right. You get brownie points for
Okay.
that. We need to go to the first race at Dragoon
I'll go.
because it's the only one that's really worth going to because, sorry, Brandon, but the track fucking sucks otherwise. It has to be the first race of the year because it's virgin soil.
Or if you get really lucky with the weather.
Yeah.
Is it still open?
Yes.
It's open every weekend almost.
It was my first race back on a KG bike.
Oh, perfect track to do it at.
I know. That's what I thought, too.
Did he send the popper?
the bopper. I remember that.
You
No.
didn't.
Do you remember
No.
the Flowers? You know, it was their last name.
Dylan Flowers.
Dylan Flowers.
He always rode like a 2-stroke and just wrapped it out all the time. But it was
Yeah.
either him or his brother broke both of his legs off that jump.
How?
The popper, man. Too much
It
weight.
wasn't even
he
that
popped the fr-
big, was it?
No, he popped
Like-
the front end, I think, and like bailed and landed on both of his legs.
When that track opened, the little double after the finish line, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Ben Decker was the first one to do it. And your dad and my dad were like, oh, no way. He jumped that?
Dude, that's nuts because it's still the same exact jump.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And like I can do it first gear with my eyes closed
There's-
on my bike.
There's Cobras doing it. There's
Yeah.
50s doing it.
I say, can you do
is
it on
the
a pit
layout
bike?
the same?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, dude, it hasn't changed.
I think Clements tripled something in that section. He jumped something that no one else
the
had
next
done.
section.
It wasn't.
it was not that.
It was after the finish. Okay, so you finish table,
Oh, I
double,
remember this,
right,
yeah.
left-hander, and then that roller section that connects where the start comes on.
Yeah, but it wasn't that section.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Because
yes,
I
that's
tripled
what-
through that section,
You
but
come out and tripled in.
I think he did something by the finish line.
Dude, there's no. Okay, if somebody is,
I could be wrong, but I think so.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Text him.
Text Hunter Clements, and we're gonna figure this out.
Sunshine, where are you?
Did you triple something massive at Dragoon Creek?
Why did your phone have like a British accent? Like
I
Amish.
changed.
You can set it up.
What?
You can set it up that way.
Kevin, what is Scion?
Huh?
You know what this means.
Yeah, it's an inside joke.
Well, tell us the joke.
No inside jokes. Come on, guys.
Yeah, this isn't Pulp MX, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Why is
but
this
you
not
remember that
going?
one time?
Yeah, Bruce, this the thermostat is really good.
Those of you on Facebook.
The thermostat's hanging off the wall.
Well, okay, the story behind the thermostat was, do you remember how it used to be like 40 degrees in here and then it would jump up to like 90 degrees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, you don't. You do.
I do.
Hey,
Okay.
Kevin, they want you to do a jersey giveaway.
Is that what, I saw that. I saw TJ.
I got a new thermostat.
Yeah, you got. I see that. You got a new
but my
one.
dad is anti-technology,
Oh,
so
look,
you can control that
Peyton
one by
said
your
something.
phone.
To me?
So I was
Jeffrey.
like, this is
Hey.
going to be...
We got
Hold on,
100 people
hold on.
talking at once,
Listen,
guys.
All right,
The
this
whole
is
finish
cool and
section? I
all,
was
but
there.
this is not the center of attention.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
so don't. I don't even like looking at the comments because it's a distraction.
Well, they answered our question.
So whenever I don't care what Peyton said.
Teacher
So
Jeff.
listen, let me just.
Did you say somebody commented on that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's see you weren't even listening to the actual conversation because you were looking at the comments.
You're
All right,
you're
it's
exactly
easy
right.
to do that, and the best way is to just don't even look at this. Pretend
Okay.
it's not even there.
Okay.
Okay. The conversation is whoever's talking over here.
All right,
It's a
perfect.
fucking screen and it's easy to stare at. Mike's laughing at me because I'm doing one of my things that I do. My point is,
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
sir.
just
Yes, sir.
not that thing. Please,
Yeah, sure.
Not that thing. Did
If
you say
someone-
yes, sir? Or yeah, sure.
If someone was listening to this podcast, we've lost them already. It's done.
They're
It's over.
gone.
You know, okay. I've thought that there's been times whenever because I listen to every episode. I go back and I'll listen and be like, how the fuck does anybody listen to our show? But dude, worldwide, thousands
Honestly-
of people, and I think it's just people like listening to people have a good time.
Do you remember the episode that you and I did, and we both, when we were done, we were like, dude, that's so terrible. And you even called me on the way home, and you're like, this was a bad one, man. And then later you called me, you're like, dude, this has the most listens we've had all season so far.
Yeah.
Honestly, so like your guys' last or two episodes
Yeah, not
ago,
the RFGP hype one, but the one before that.
the one with the kid that won that award.
yes.
You guys
Steven.
like it started out kind of like but as soon as you guys started bickering, it got really interesting.
I was talking with Bart today about you and me, how we're best friends, but we disagree on everything.
Practice.
So it's a pretty good.
It gets very
pretty good back
interesting.
and forth. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
And then me and Mike is a bubble, and then I'm the pin that comes along to burst, whatever. Yeah, that's how we operate.
It's like reality TV, but it's like from the 30s. It's like a radio show. Like everybody tunes in to watch reality TV now on TV, but they tune in to listen to reality TV.
Well, the thing about listening to a podcast is you can be doing other shit. Like I work and listen to podcasts.
And they can imagine like what you look like. Like they can make up their own characters.
Okay, so let me just describe myself really quickly because there are people that don't know what I look like. Imagine on a scale of 1 to 10 and 11, and you got me.
Minus 7
I'll allow it.
points.
I'll allow it.
Hey, come on, guys.
So we have us three. Who's across the table here?
Nick Peterson and what was your name again?
Chevin? Is it
Something like
What did I
that.
say,
Something
Chevin?
like that.
Chevin?
Yeah.
Chevon? Chevin
Kevin
Moran's?
Moran's.
Ask him what his favorite snack is.
All right, so in the group chat before we got here, Nick brought up something about favorite flavor crayon. Let's just get this out of the way.
It was he does a very so I'm a very giggly person, I feel like.
Obviously.
Especially around this guy over here. And when we went to Cali for the what are you looking at? When we went to Cali for the Pro Outdoors, he had this voice that he would do, and it was a joke. And it got Jake and I to laugh every time. And
Can you do the voice, Nick, please?
Well, now that you put me on the spot, it's a little bit difficult.
Dude, I can do any voice on the spot.
It's like it's from The Ringer. What's his name?
Johnny Knoxville?
Jeffy?
No.
No.
I don't even know which one it is.
when you feel comfortable, just pop it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It'll
just
pop
chime
out.
in with it.
Yeah,
whenever
it'll
you've got-
happen.
Okay.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That'll.
You got to wait and listen for it.
Oh, they'll hear it.
I guess we could just get the obvious ones out of the way now, and we'll go from there. Kevin, you broke your leg.
Correct.
How?
Just down at the goat farm, training for supercross.
But weren't you on the motocross track?
Where'd you hear that from?
Just I hear things.
No, I was on a supercross track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a little bit slippery, and because it had rained a little bit that night, and the track we were breaking the track in, and it was going off of a jump. I hit a slick spot at the bottom of the jump, and just kind of went sideways on the face. Came off all goofy,
Yeah.
and just bailed and landed wrong. And
Hold on.
how it
You
happened.
bailed midair?
yeah, I had to.
When's the last time you bailed midair?
I've never bailed, ever.
I have.
I stepped over the front on my 2014 250SX. Not whenever I got knocked out at Benny's house, but another. I don't remember what it was.
I think that one just threw you through the handlebars at Benny's
Yeah,
house.
that
Yeah,
one
that was a
threw-
bad
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Mike, have you ever stepped over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Neutral, half a lap on a brand new bike.
Suzuki?
Yep. Sure was.
Was it an 05 450?
It was a 06 RM250 two-stroke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can purchase Suzuki motorcycles at Donnell's Motorcycles in Independence,
I
Missouri.
wouldn't have made that connection.
Oh. I was just trying to do a sponsor plug.
Well, I guess we are talking about a bike that's not in production anymore.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
That's why they don't make them anymore, is because he did his R&D testing, and now they decided they don't need them anymore.
It is one of
will
my
start
favorite
with
bikes.
the silencer packed full of mud.
Well, Villapoto could have used that, back in 2013?
Yeah.
Where at?
Seattle?
No.
Where'd I do it at?
I don't care about where Villapoto crashed.
Kingsville.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where else?
The road jump. Came off the start. My dad said, hey, take the first lap easy. It's a brand new bike.
Hold on. Was it finished? Was the track current version or reverse version?
Reverse to what it is now.
Reverse, yeah. That was a pretty big jump then.
Well, it was when you were going over the bars, yeah.
I remember the face was really steep.
It was a
that
long face. It
Yeah.
was a big face.
But you know what
Maybe.
the best part of it was? I was so mad and embarrassed that instead of blaming myself, I started screaming at the flagger like he ripped me off my bike. And he was just standing there looking at me like, why are you yelling at me?
What do you even yell at a flagger when you crash?
I've never done it before. I never did it after that. Just that one time I was like, that was so dumb. And I was like, what are you doing? Yelling at him. And he's like, what? I was like, ah! I don't even remember what I was mad though.
Yeah.
Like it was his fault.
It was.
Yeah. He distracted me with his neon yellow flag.
Yeah.
I don't know I can't think of the last time I bailed through the bars on a big bike. I can remember doing it on pit bikes, but I can't think
I had to
of
do
doing
it during
on
arena
a big
cross,
bike.
but it wasn't even that big of a jump.
That's probably why I have so many
just landed
shoulder
goofy.
injuries, is because I hang on to the bike and just get pile drived into the ground.
And actually, this is my 15th year riding. This is my very first broken bone.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It didn't take me. Let's see. I broke my first collarbone after 6 or 7 years, something like that.
Then didn't you have a bunch back to back after that?
I had a collarbone, then a collarbone, then a wrist, then a leg, and then a wrist. You know, it was pretty much.
Then as you were getting faster.
Mm-hmm.
I broke my first wrist when I crashed in the backyard before I even ever raced.
Sucks.
Yeah, I wasn't
Breaking
very
in the
good.
track?
I was. It had rained the night before. It was. I bailed out.
Some dog shit.
I don't know if I've ever told the story about my dad eating shit on my bike. Okay, listen to this. Des Moines Arena Cross, January 2006.
I've heard it.
Or no. I don't know.
You were there.
It was either 5, 6, or 7, one of the two, and it was 6. Had to be 6, and it would have been later in the year because they used to have them in November. Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
It's Arena Cross somewhere.
Arena Cross in
2006.
Des Moines, and I'm going up for, and at the time it was still 125 and 250. So I'm going up. I've already made it in on the 250 class, and then in the 450 250 class, I'm going up to the line, and it's on a 2-stroke. So my dad's warming up the bike, and it's like 12 degrees outside, so it's not really warming up. And we're inside, and you have to go like out into the little area where they had the clean out area for you to rev your bike up outside, and it just wasn't really cleaning out. So my dad goes out into the pits, and is like ripping third gear wide open in the pits, hits some black ice.
Yes.
Spins, just whoosh, immediately. Okay. The bike, dude, is skidding across the asphalt. Sparks are flying, and it's because it's a 2-stroke with a carburetor. The the float's up, so it's dumping gas onto the ground. So there's a trail of flames. Okay, and the bike wedges itself, not deeply, barely, underneath a dually that had the extra gas tank in the back that diesel trucks do, and the bike is on fire underneath this guy's truck with the big gas tank in the back of it, and he runs over. His hands are all scraped up. Both of his knees are all scraped up. Runs over, grabs the bike out. It's still running, gooses it out away, and like the fire gets put out, and then rides it back to the pits. The fucking bars are bent. The clutch lever's bent. Like, the little balls bent out. There's no grip on the outside of the left. It had been ground down a solid.
And are you like
half-inch.
waiting for your gate pick?
Yes, I'm about to push my bike out through the tunnel onto the starting line for the heat one, and my bike. My dad just hands me the bike, and like the whole left side's all scraped up. He doesn't even say anything, just hands the bike to me and walks off. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Dude, he went up. I didn't see him again for the rest of the night. He went up, sat in the pits or in the whatever seating section it was, and just watched the races and drank whiskey for the rest of the night because he actually ended up breaking his wrist.
Oh my!
In the pits. Now here's the thing. All right, my dad started riding motocross in 1968, 69, something like that. From 1969 until 2006, never broke a single bone until he was on my bike in the pits
That's pretty wild.
at an arena cross.
The way you just told that story was like a Vin Diesel movie. Like I was waiting for major explosion.
Like a truck to blow up.
Jerry C comes out of a ball of fire, like walking with the bike.
Practically. No, I mean, it was a couple flaming drops of fuel. Of course, at the time we're running whatever the Sunoco race gat. No. We were running Phillips 66 at the time. So whatever that's the table. Whatever the shit was that was hot then that cost $100 for a 5-gallon of it. Very highly flammable.
Yeah, you said trail of fuel. I was just thinking trail of tears, Jerry's tears as it was happening.
Yeah. I don't think that my dad's he hasn't really rode a motocross bike since then.
Hey, I looped out at Brandon Long's house riding from the pits to the track. Doing a wheelie. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to go do moto. Yeah. Pop up a wheelie, like third gear. I'm cruising along pretty good. Next thing I know, here it goes. Up and over backwards. No. I landed, whack, hit my hand on the ground. And, I'm like laughing as I'm headed towards the ground. Mm-hmm. Hit the ground like, oh, wow, my hand really hurts. That's not cool. Okay, we'll pick up the bike. I'm still laughing. Chris Zieber sees it all happening and go to get on the track, and I can't hold on at all. Turns out I broke my hand when I did it. You were there. Did you see me do it? Or were
I don't think I saw that.
Maybe
but
not.
I remember I looped out one time going up the start straight at Merwin on an open practice day on an RM 250.
Was this like before or after you were good at dirt bikes?
This was 2000 and I don't know, probably 2000. I was a decent B rider.
This would have been after because
I was established.
Yeah.
So far, every story we've told so far has involved a Suzuki motorcycle. I was also riding a RMZ 450.
Well, no, Kevin broke his leg on a Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
this actually reminds me of two stories.
Some people still argue that it's the same as a Suzuki. Do you see that?
No.
I see it all the time.
Like, it's a Kawasaki.
It's all the time.
What?
It's a 2016. It's still the same.
Did you not know the Suzuki and Kawasaki merged
I know.
together?
I never heard that saying though.
Oh, Kawasaki.
But anyway, yeah. But so the loop out ones reminded me of something. So I was down at Club 57 probably a year or two ago, right before Loretta's, and we went on a road bike ride.
Do you have something in your eye?
No, I mean, I got contacts in. I probably need to change them, but.
Because you keep picking at your eyelid like you're gonna pull it off.
No, it's like my eyelashes. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Let me continue.
Yeah, sorry.
And we're going on this bike ride, and so obviously you're clipped in, and Dawson Cobb's there. What?
Nothing. Mike's over here having a jolly old good time.
So we're
Dawson's clipped in.
Yes, we're all clipped in, and he's trying to pull wheelies, thinking that he was doing pretty good. He gets it up and is riding a pretty good one and just goes too far and can't catch it. Just goes straight to his back.
Oh.
And he's clipped in.
Scrape.
Sometimes I feel like
not
crashing
good.
bicycles hurts more than crashing your dirt bike.
I've done
I can
that.
verify that.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
I've looped out doing a wheelie clipped in. It's
See, what happens is
it's awful.
It's like on a mountain bike. So last time I rode mountain bikes at Landau,
It's awful.
I was clipped in and tried to wheelie over like this rock or tree or something. And you have to keep pedaling when you wheelie. And apparently I haven't figured that out. So I just wheelie into the rock or tree and then endo over onto my face and it just smashes me.
And you're still clipped in.
And I'm still clipped in. So I hit face first, in just like a T-shirt. And then the bike comes and whacks me in my head behind me.
You know what I've never been able to figure out on a bicycle?
What?
Like when you're doing a jump, like a BMX bike.
Yeah.
How do you keep from catching the pedal? Like, how do you remember to flatten out the pedals to where, like...
When's the last time? I mean, obviously, the last time you rode a bicycle was a long time ago, but do you not remember that it's, like, natural to keep your feet flat?
Okay, for me, it was not. Every time I tried to jump a BMX bike, like literally I would drag a what do you even call them? Pedal?
Pedal.
Just dig it straight
Like one
into
would
the face.
be lower than the other
Yes.
one. You
Then
wouldn't
go
keep them
off
flat.
all unbalanced in the air, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't know. I never made it that far. I literally would just hit the takeoff and the bike would just stop and over the bars. That's when I quit. I was like, because you got into BMX for a little while.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to do it. So I built like this BMX jump next to my house and I was like, I'm going to be the hot shit. And I never made it over it. I literally never made it over the jump.
You just couldn't remember to put the pedals flat.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And like
Eject.
whenever I did my one BMX race that I got first place in, I collected my gold trophy in. It came naturally. Honestly, it really did. Like to just keep my feet flat. And you know, you're going pedal, 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 and then right before you get the jump face, you flatten them out.
Did you learn that before or after Millville 08
Okay.
or 07, 08?
No. That was
06.
dude. No. 04.
04. Ooh,
Or
wow.
3.
Yeah, I missed
3
it.
or 4, somewhere in there. Did you guys know? Okay, Kevin, I don't know if you ever noticed this scar on my cheek right here, the one that comes down, the long one.
Yeah.
He was bit by a saber-toothed tiger.
I was bit by
Got into a fight with a
bicycle
bear.
jump, and then inside of right above my eyebrow, there's kind of a scar up there that goes the whole length of my eyebrow. We went to Millville riding the BMX track that's no longer there, and I ate shit on the hardest jump, that not like hardest in difficulty, but hardest in dirt. And I didn't even come up short. I just hit the ground face first. I don't know what happened. Nobody saw it. I went for the jump. I was riding Reese Jumps, silver bike. I don't know what brand it was. And just
Like BMX bike or
yeah,
mountain bike?
a BMX bike, and just jumped this one jump that wasn't even as long as this table, and just woke up in a pool of blood.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
Literally face first.
Honestly, if you didn't point it out, I wouldn't have been able to notice
It was so bad that Brad Arnold cried. He thought that I was going to die there.
Jeff went into the motorhome for the next 3 days and never came out.
No, I
my
came out
goodness.
for the beer garden.
That's true. Air guitar.
Yeah.
We air guitared the shit out of that. I
Yeah,
remember
dude.
now.
That'll
Yeah.
teach you to ride a Huffy.
What'd you say?
That'll teach you to ride a Huffy.
No, it was a nice bike.
Reese Jump never had anything that wasn't nice.
Like a Huffy Extreme.
Like
no.
a Huffy Extreme XL Plus.
Yeah. Matt
That's a nice
Hoffman-
bike, boy. Is that a
Hoffman?
hood?
Matt Hoffman, yeah, Hoffman bikes.
Yeah.
You're pretty quiet right now, Nick.
Well,
What's up
everybody's
with this?
talking. I'm just letting everybody talk.
Well, okay, so Kevin, did you finish your story about breaking your leg?
No, he didn't.
Sorry.
I don't even remember telling that.
You
I
crashed.
pretty much
crashed and you
told the
bailed.
story.
You crashed,
Yeah,
you jumped
I
through the
landed
bars, then
wrong.
our conversation went crazy. So what happened after you bailed through the bars?
I mean, so I kind of went off kind of goofy. I say I was pointing right, and so I kind of jumped left, like over the so. Okay, imagine you're whipped right. You know what I mean? So your left bar is kind of sticking up. So I just kind of jumped right over that and just landed wrong. And then as soon as it happened, I knew.
And so what did you break?
Tib and fib on my left side.
Did you have to have surgery?
I did.
What'd they do?
Rod in the tib. Then they just left the fib alone. But I haven't had to have a cast or, any kind of boot, anything like that. I mean, and they told me I'd be walking around 6 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, I got you one.
Oh, sweet. But anyway, so they said I'd be walking around 6-7 weeks. I'm not even 5 weeks in, and I'm already walking right now. So it's going pretty good.
Yeah, you're way further along than I am, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yes, please.
If you break a bone, am I the only one? If you have the option to just let it heal or have surgery, I will always have surgery.
Depends on the bone.
It depends
on how
usually.
bad.
Usually, yes, because you can. Oh, whoa, easy.
You saved
He
me.
just
You
about broke
saved
the
me.
sacred.
This is
He
a
basically
sacred
just
thing.
had to leave. He
Yeah.
almost just had to head back to Topeka.
The table almost got flipped over.
Not only did I obviously want to do the ceremonial cracking of the drinks, but I also wanted to get it on video too.
All right, so for the listeners, Kevin just got handed a white, delicious Energy Zero Ultra,
Which
by
he's
Jeff
not allowed
here,
to have
and
at this
I
he
haven't
just
had-
about cracked the seal
did.
on it, and we know we don't do that
I
until
probably
we're ready
haven't
to
had
do
an
that.
energy drink in well over a year.
That's fine.
Do you have an energy drink sponsor?
I do not. I would like one, but I do not.
Monster.
Just talk
if
about
you're
how
listening,
good that monster is.
We're about to taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Nick was like, I don't drink those things. And
They're
See,
full of
here's-
sugar and cancer.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sugar
Yeah,
or
the white ones
cancer.
are good.
Right.
It's
okay.
one or the other.
Now let's-
Diabetes or cancer.
Listen. Let's just go over this really quick. Okay. It has 180 milligrams of sodium. That's not that much.
It's not bad.
Because the salt is used as a preservative.
Well, if you eat lunch meat is like 600 something a serving.
Like a
And you're eating
Lunchable?
2 or 3
Yeah.
servings.
Yeah.
Okay, but look at your servings on here.
It's no, I know. This is there's 2 per container. Okay. Yeah, we'll
10
get there.
for.
We'll get there. In the container, it has vitamin B3, 100%, vitamin B6, 100%, vitamin B12, 100%. And the reason that it has 3 different types of vitamin Bs is B vitamins help your brain, your cognitive function. Okay, without the B vitamins, you're dull. Okay, so that's why
That's your problem, Mike.
That's why it's got all the B vitamins in it.
Sorry if I'm dull tonight, guys. I don't have a monster.
And then it also has.
Well, I stole yours. Would you like it back?
We can share.
Well, there's
It also
2
has B5.
servings, so-
Okay. Now, here's the thing: is whenever you read that it has, all right, we're going to go down the list: carbonated water, citric acid, erythritol, taurine, sodium citrate, natural and artificial flavorings, Panax ginseng flavor, L-carnitine, L-tartate, caffeine, sucralose, sorbic acid as a preservative, benzoic acid as a preservative, niacinamide. Niacinamide, yeah, niacinamide. That's B3, B5, potassium, inositol, hydrogen, I'm gonna try this. Pyridoxine hydrochloride, vitamin B6. Okay, if you just read pyridoxine hydrochloride, you'd be like, dude, that sounds like some shit. That's got to be in bleach, right? No.
Or like bug repellent.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the scientific name for vitamin B6. Okay, and it says it there, but they did something smart and put the actual vitamin names next to it, what we call it. So like vitamin B12, oh God, that's gonna.
All right, Jeff, that's enough.
Yeah, I'm
That's
done.
enough.
I can't do that.
Anyways, now that we've covered the entire
All right, so yes, it has all that stuff in it.
Before we continue and open these, I see that, I don't know about you, but I see you have at least one of these a day.
Only Monday
That
through
can
Friday.
not be good for you.
Okay, name what it is in this that's not good for me.
Asbestos.
It's
I
got,
don't know. I mean, caffeine, but
Kevin,
I mean,
it has 0 sugar,
Yeah, I know.
0 calories,
It's a bunch of zeros, Kevin.
0 ultra.
It's guilt free.
so I need to be drinking this every day is what you're saying.
I'm not telling you to do that. That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
you stick to your Rhino Power
Yeah,
or whatever it is that
absolutely.
you're drinking down.
Yeah,
That's actually what I had on the way here.
It is a
was some
whole lot
hydration
better than
fuel.
I thought it was because I've never had a Monster Zero.
yeah.
Well, that's where you.
It has 0 sugar. It has 1 gram of erythritol. Erythritol is a sugar alcohol.
Yes.
Okay, so it's an extremely condensed. What was the word I said earlier?
It's a very condensed form of sugar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is it better than what's the other one? The one that's bad for you?
It's all bad for you.
Everything's bad for you.
Everything is gonna kill
Everything
you.
is bad for you.
No, but like Splenda is
Sucralose.
Oh no,
no
aspartame.
Aspartame. Yes.
Aspartame. Oh,
Aspartame.
way better. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener.
So what did you just say this is?
Erythritol.
And it's not an artificial sweetener.
No, it is a derivative of sugar. It is a compressed, filtered sugar alcohol.
I just want to hear the motocross stuff.
Can we open the damn thing and
I
drink
was
it
going to
yet?
say, let's move on from this.
Jeff, I haven't had one today, and usually by now I've had 1.5, maybe 2.
Hold on.
He's going through withdrawals.
Hold on. We got to do the video.
I have one at roughly 8:30 in the morning, almost every day.
Is that safe?
I don't know, but it's when I start.
Hold on, Nick.
I'm just preparing.
Everybody hold the
I'm just
fuck
preparing.
on. Before we crack these monsters, number 1, the microphone has to be up near the monster to begin with, okay? And number 2, I'm going to video it, okay?
We all doing it at the same time, or are we going to go like in a circle?
We'll go in a circle.
So don't screw this up, guys.
Yeah, and you only get 1 crack.
Are we doing one at a time?
Man, I don't know.
Sure.
One at a time. Tell me when.
Yeah.
Tell me when.
Go, Nicholas. First timer.
I'm done fucked up.
That's how a
Ron.
pro does it. Will you hold my microphone here?
Actually, as a true pro,
It's not official if you don't tap it.
I'm not on board with that.
you should have been able to open that with no
There you
hands.
go, Facebook
Yes.
Live. Cheers.
Gentlemen.
Ooh, that was actually. Damn,
Yeah,
this
there we
thing
go.
is
Oh,
good.
Thank you.
You and your sweet tea.
Chick-fil-A.
This is really
Unsweet.
Unsweet. Oh, that's right. You've made the change. Excuse me.
Do I need to read the ingredients to you?
No, it's outside. Do you want me to go get it, or we don't need? No, I don't need to know the fucking ingredients of your sweet tea. It's water and
Unsweet. It's
unsweet
tea.
tea. A tea. It's just goddamn tea.
Dirty water from Chick-fil-A.
Dirty water.
I was not expecting that.
Pretty
That's
tasty,
actually pretty
huh?
good.
That's just pretty good.
He's done. He's
Got you hooked.
Look what we did.
Dude, here's what's gonna happen.
Ricky's gonna be
I can't
pissed.
remember the Tallahassee area code.
I want to. No, it's not. No, I'm thinking Missouri.
Starts with an 8.
856. Is that what it is?
805 or 806, something like that.
805, I think.
805. Is that 805?
I thought
What's
805 was
805 is
California.
I could be
805 is
lying.
Florida something. Because
It
isn't
is?
that what Vanilla Ice says in his song?
Let me just look up.
He's 305. Mr.
305.
Worldwide 305.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get
Whatever.
I'm gonna get a phone call with the Tallahassee number.
Yeah.
850.
850. Thank you.
what it is.
Ricky's
It's
pissed.
gonna be 850. It's gonna be Jeannie.
Hey, this
God
pays the
damn it,
bills down
Jeannie.
there.
Yeah,
So
oh,
maybe
yes,
not.
it does.
This
She's
pays,
a
so she's
saint.
probably just going to let it slide.
She might send praises.
Till he gets there. Now he's got to run 10 miles on a bad leg when he gets there.
Or as Eldon Baker likes to say, that's okay, we'll fix it in the gym.
Fair enough.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Jeff.
We haven't really heard from you, buddy.
Well, what would you like to hear?
I would like to hear everything. You're married now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Can I see the ring?
Yeah,
Do you have
it's
a ring?
fabulous.
Okay, so I noticed it, but I didn't even think about it being a ring.
It's pretty sweet.
That's pretty BA.
Hold on. Show and
Ooh,
tell.
try it on,
Pass
yeah.
around.
Ooh.
Is that brass on the inside?
I think it's copper.
Rose gold.
Oh, never mind.
Rose gold?
Rose gold.
Like Chardonnay?
Yeah, we're keeping it classy.
Like an iPhone rose gold?
Like better than
As Mike and I wear rubber ones.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to actually say that.
Yeah, I went to the gym today and acquired about 36 new scratches on it, so
Yeah,
I might
yeah.
have to get the silicone
That'll
one.
happen. I think my metal one has been out of the box once, maybe. It doesn't even fit right.
Is that left or right hand? Which one do you run?
Left.
Left.
You're right.
I'm not going to jam it over my giant knuckle there. Do you wear the Jared Tebow ring?
What?
Who are you looking at?
Yes.
No, I
Mike.
do not.
The Jared Tebow ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sells them.
Tebow's he's sponsored by
talking
somebody or he's a rep
Yeah,
or something.
he's a rep.
Oh, are you talking about Fixate?
I don't know. I
Whatever.
don't know which one it is. We should know
Yeah,
this,
this
guys.
is a Fixate, but I got it before he was a Fixate guy.
Yeah, mine's
But
a
it's-
Quelo, but
but
I got
it's-
it before then.
I know, but Jared Tebow is endorsed by them or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know
Correct.
how all that works, but so
That's why I called it Jared Tebow ring.
okay, I get you. Yeah, I
I
don't
need
know
to
how
get
that
a hold
works.
of Jared
I don't know what the
Tebow
deal is
to
there
get
exactly.
some of those.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Do
him for a while.
You know what? Jared Tebow, one way or another, needs to be a sponsor of the OTB podcast.
He gets brought up at least once or twice. What about and if Alta wouldn't have closed their doors, we could easily have them throwing us a check. but-
His RC contracts with a lot of his companies are up.
I
this
read
year?
that today.
Yeah, so he may need a sponsor
Yeah.
from us rather than him.
Quite the contrary,
Yeah.
Jeff.
So is Kyosho not paying out for him, or
I don't know.
oh?
it's just
So
the
as
end
of
of
But
right
the
just
now.
as of right now, like his contract ends this year, so he's going to announce it, and I'm assuming it's probably going to be like January 1st at midnight.
So that's why he's been driving and racing so much.
Yeah, because did you not see his post earlier today?
I know,
I
huh?
haven't seen it.
It was like a throwback of a point in time where he was. I forget what year it was. He said,
So I'm pretty sure that he signed the longest. Don't quote me on this. The longest or contract in RC like history. He signed like a 10-year deal with Kyosho.
"Yeah, because I think
that's
I
pretty
think the
sweet.
picture was a throwback to like 08 or 06,
Yeah, and I don't-
something around there."
I don't think anybody's ever signed that long of a contract with a company, but it's finally up now.
Wow,
Sounds like an Adam Cianciarillo deal
practically,
with Pro Circuit.
yeah. Or
Or like
Kawasaki.
Martin
Whatever,
Davalos with the
whoever.
250 class.
Oh,
Just,
Hey, he's a great
just
guy.
to be able to ride the 250 class. You
It's
mean?
actually pretty cool riding with
he's
him down
not
there.
necessarily signed to one team. He's signed to the class.
The class.
Correct,
That is
yeah.
correct.
He tried to go 450, but no one would hire him full time.
even though he was awesome on the
Yeah,
bike.
he was good. Like he got like third or something.
Well,
He
why
did
move up
something-
when
he
you
did
could
really
just
good.
keep cashing checks in the 250
Well, he
class?
said he couldn't find a ride, so why would you go to the 450 class and be a privateer when you could get paid a good amount of money in the 250 class?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd
look
all
at
do
Zach
it.
Osborne.
We would all do it.
Okay, I have a serious question, Kevin.
Yes.
Okay, so who are of the big namers do you ride with frequently?
Martine is
Okay.
one of them.
Do they
Okay.
do they do it like the Baker's Factory where there's
No,
a
we
like
ride
an
with
A
them.
group, B group, or you
I
ride,
mean,
you
I'm
all
sure
ride
like,
together?
I'm sure probably at this point, some more people are probably starting to show up because I know like Savachi's out there now and some other guys. So I'm sure that it would probably be more a little bit split up between A and B.
Hey,
Yep.
keep that mic.
Yeah, sorry, but for
If you,
as
just FYI, if you look at Nick, bring the mic over.
okay, I got you.
Pretend like you're Jeff with a neck donut.
I just
Back
touch
in-
mine to my lips. That way you just know,
Just know it's
because
getting
if
it.
it's away from your mouth, you're kind of guessing on where it's at. But
Yeah,
if you're with
that's
that
true.
mic, if you just touch your lips, it's consistent.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nick's really good at that because he's used to holding a dick up against his lips.
so
Just a
anyway,
tip, just for a second.
anyway, so Martin Davalos and Savachi are the two the big namers out there right now, and then I think there's some other ones that are supposed to be coming down, and then TJ Albright and Carter Gordon and Dylan Cloyd and some other guys down there, and that's kind of the group that I always ride with.
Okay, so if you're on the track with Davalos, do you do like I used to do like when I was in the beginner class and like you let Jeff pass you and then you're like, I'm going to keep up with him for a corner. Yes, I did it. And then you're like, I'm going to get him for 2 corners. Yes, I did it.
No,
I'm
honestly,
going to answer this
I
for
like-
Kevin.
Go ahead, and then I'm going to answer it.
When you're on the track with those guys, you don't let them pass you, and you don't see them when they pass you. They're just so fast.
I mean, yeah, they go very, very good. I mean, think about it. I mean, Martin, so this is my rookie season of my supercross career, and Martin's what, 12 years deep into it?
He rode pro when I went to Loretta's. He rode the
He turned
A class
pro in
at
like
Loretta's
06?
05. Well, he rode Loretta's in 05 when I
was-
was in the C class.
He was
and
on
he was
a-
riding the A class on a Suzuki.
Oh, it was Suzuki?
Yeah.
Okay,
Him
but then
and
whenever
Lawrence were
he
on
got
Suzuki.
signed, was it to the MDK KTM
Yes,
team?
577.
That
Or was it J-Star?
It was
Or
MDK KTM.
did he go? Yeah, you're right. Did he turn
Yeah.
pro on MDK?
Yes, with I think it was Tommy Searle on that team.
Yeah,
And
that would have
then,
been the year. But
and
but
then
that would have been
Sipes.
that would have been was that 06 or 07?
It was 07 they were on that team.
Okay, because I think he came out and rode for that like JWR Suzuki team that Ryan Sipes turned pro with.
WBR.
WBR maybe?
No, because WBR never had a...
There was
yeah,
some
they did
with Richie Owens.
Richie
yeah.
Owens and then Ryan Sipes and then there was one
Troy
other.
Adams.
Troy Adams, real tall guy.
Okay, no, Davalos was never on that
Okay,
team.
never mind.
He was.
I'm a dumbass,
he
sorry.
He may have done well. I think that wasn't part of the amateur team, was it?
I
Like
don't think so.
a extension of the amateur team? Because he was on Suzuki support, I
shit-
believe.
Dude, that was not WBR. It was EWR. That's what EWR.
I just watched one of the Great Outdoor movies with that, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I want to say
Something
that, I thought there was a
something.
W in it. It was
There used to be
BR.
WMR
It was,
with Suzuki's.
It was
and
something
they-
BR.
EBR.
It's not EBR,
No,
but it was
EBR, I
something
don't
BR.
Okay, so we have BBR, WBR, EBR,
WMR.
and then WMR, and I said EWR. Oh my God, this is so...
It doesn't matter.
So basically what we're saying here, if you're listening to this podcast, you're thinking about starting a race team, do not end it with MR, R. Just don't use your initials, come up with a name.
No, E's, W's, M's, or R's.
Or B's.
B's are also out.
Anything from A to Z, don't use it. Don't use letters.
Yeah, we
don't want 3-letter names anymore.
I need, like, whenever Prince changed his name to that random
The symbol.
symbol, yeah,
I think was it just symbol?
WBR Suzuki.
Anyway.
it was WBR.
It was WBR.
Wow,
Wade Brommel Racing.
I like that. I like that.
Let's see what it stands
Anyway,
for.
to answer your question that you originally asked me about trying to
Yes.
keep up with him for a corner or two.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, as he goes better than me, he's faster than me. So it's not so much trying to keep up with him for like a corner or two, and then trying to I don't want to try to go all out for 2 corners to try to keep up with him because it's not going to happen. So more or less, what
Okay.
I do is on a supercross track, you have so many lanes. It's pretty easy to keep an eye on somebody. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I first got there, he'd gain on me a lot every lap.
Yeah.
And then by the time right before I got hurt, I mean, he still is much faster than me. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it was a lot less than when I first got there. So every time I go out there, if he can gain on me, a little bit less every time, like every lap,
Right.
that's kind of what I go off of. Not so much keeping up with him as soon as he passes.
So do you peel off and like pull over and let him go by, or like
Not
do
really.
you hold your line?
I mean,
and,
I
like,
hold my line, and he finds ways to get around me. That's the whole kind of concept that we want to have down there. Because if you pull off, nobody's going to pull off for you in the race.
Okay, so they're practicing passing you as much as you're practicing
Exactly.
holding.
Yeah,
like your
exactly.
Own. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So Nick verified it's WBR.
WBR. I didn't really look into it to see what it stood for, but the guy that owned it was named Brad Williams. So I don't know if it was.
Williams Brothers Racing.
Yeah,
How about that?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
Jeffrey,
Go ahead.
I just had a concept pop in my head.
I love
You know how
concepts.
angry you get when a non-expert rider is in the expert practice?
Dude, I'm angry that you just
even brought it up.
I'm
Exactly.
triggered.
I knew
I'm
that.
triggered.
I knew that would just. Okay, what he's talking about. Maybe instead of being so angry, you should be looking at it as a training exercise, like they do at the Go Farm, and you should say, "I'm just going to work on passing this young man."
Okay. I see where
Until
you're
in
he
his
gets
overalls.
squirrely.
Here's where I'm going to disagree. Kevin, do you have your pro license?
Yes.
End of conversation.
How do you know that guy doesn't have his? Have you asked him when you're beating him on the ground and yelling at him?
Hey, you motherfucker. Show me your hard card.
What would you do if some guy just whipped one out, though?
Like, why do you have that on the track?
Who did you steal that from?
That's a fake.
Who did you steal that from?
Yeah.
Why do you have it on the track?
We should get on a topic to rile him up.
No, we don't want to do that.
It'll find its way
Yeah,
there. Don't worry.
it's
It'll
gonna
find
happen.
Its way. It'll find its way.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
I just don't like how the novice riders can ride the pro practice, but the pro riders can't ride the novice practice.
And see, the thing is, whenever we go out and if we went out and rode the novice practice, we're riding around at 40 to 60%
It's
speed.
safer that way.
Way safer.
Yep.
Yeah. But whenever the novice guys ride the A practice, they don't see the problem with it.
Nope. And we are made an example of when we do it, or at least when I do it.
I've been berated for it.
Yeah.
Everybody has.
You also ride around as a giant big billboard with all eyes on you.
I don't know what it is. but
Hashtag the big show.
yeah, I don't. I'm really nice, but I think just some people have a sour taste for some reason.
How did you come up with that name?
Benny Bloss's dad.
What a
coined
good
it.
person to get a nickname from.
Yeah, he coined it, so I stuck with it. It actually, I didn't know that he had given me the nickname, but when Instagram was starting, I was making an Instagram account when I was with Benny, and I was like, man, I don't know what I should make my name because everybody's got these cool names. He's like, do the Big Show. I'm like, what is the Big Show? He's like, my dad calls you that. I'm like, why does your dad call me the Big Show? It's because he saw me do a whip one time at Kingsville on the old 100-footer in the novice class. That was a pretty good whip.
Even though it's actually the 90-footer.
Yeah, 80, 90, but it was like 10 feet
But
tall.
when you're that high in the air, dude, you're like, you don't care. It is 100. Maybe
sounds a lot
110,
better.
maybe.
When I was a novice rider, that jump was big.
Okay, so and then there was the double barrel jump before it.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Every time
before
I
the
think-
day section.
Every
Yeah.
time I think of that jump, you remember when Ryan Howe launched off past
Because his
the
throttle
berm?
stuck.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Ryan Wolberg.
I thought it was Wolberg.
No. Okay, so Wolberg crashed. All right, so double barrel jump right into the day section. Okay, and then you jump off of that little
and
platform.
then you like drop down.
Right, the plateau, and then there was that tabletop that was like 12 foot long. Ryan, and we were launching off of that plateau. Ryan landed in the ruts, cross-rutted, drug him off the back of the bike, and it sent him right into that telephone pole that was off to the right
ouch.
side. Ryan Howe, a year later, same section, off the face of the double barrel jump, going into it, his throttle locked open, couldn't shut it down, sent it way large, almost to the flat of the plateau, and then tumbled.
Huge.
I don't think I've ever seen or met or really heard of Ryan Howe.
He's from what?
Hannibal.
Hannibal. Yeah.
He was hardcore Cahokia guy, did the Missouri State Series 03 to 05, maybe a little dabble in 06 on Hondas, but by then he had kind of faded out.
Because I
That was
started
kind of the heyday of the pro scene back then.
I started racing in like 05, and then I think I did a full Missouri State Series in 06.
I broke
I was-
my arm next to you at Grain Valley.
I remember because I was trying to keep up with you.
You were on a KTM, I think.
KTM 125.
Do you remember when Ryan Wolberg jumped out into the highway at Kingsville?
I remember the story, but I don't remember when
After
it
the
happened.
finish line?
No. Okay, so the track went the direction it goes now.
Okay.
And there used to be a ski jump before the road jump. Then there was a double. You turned right, and then you did the jump beside the road.
Yeah.
On a CR80, he jumped that double and somehow ended up out on the highway.
Whenever Ryan was on a CR80, the track didn't go that way.
I remember
Yeah,
a
we would have been
story.
on 50s. You and I? 60s maybe?
It didn't go that
No,
way. then.
Nope. It went the opposite way of the way it's going now. Wait,
Had the big finish line triple, but it's switched a couple times.
I had only
You know
ridden
what,
it.
Mike? You're right.
Yeah, there was a ski jump, just
That-
like there is now.
Okay, so it's going the original direction now.
Yes.
Yes.
But they flopped it like 4 times.
Yes.
See, to me, the original direction is the other direction.
For you.
Yeah, for me too,
Yeah.
because when I started racing, it goes the opposite of what it does
It
now.
had the big triple finish line
yes,
back then.
yeah. That was the first time I'd ever seen it.
The track
Wow.
now
that
is
way.
almost the exact same layout as it was when we first started.
Practically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it is.
Well, I mean, seeing like even the jumps and stuff. Like the finish line's the exact same. The
'Cause
right,
it was just a table, yeah.
yes. The after the back triple quad thing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
There was a ski jump, which is what's there now,
Wow.
and then there was a double.
The only difference is the double barrel jump is now a set of rollers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really actually liked it a lot how it was when I first started riding.
In the other direction?
Yeah, all the jumps seemed way bigger.
Dude, the double
was just-
that left-hander after the double barrel always had the nastiest red in it.
And there was like a jump right out of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
out of
and
the
then
turn.
then the one by the road, it used to be super sick. You double, it had the option jump. You turn left, hit the jump by the road,
And then the
turn
triple.
left, and then like you doubled. If you went outside, you like doubled over, or if you went inside, you rolled and singled and then tripled out. This would have been like 07, 06, 07
Yeah.
probably, but you could get after it
Yeah.
on the second jump.
Yeah, you
big
could-
whips.
Yeah, I was.
Boy, you could get
You
flat.
could get after it. And then you'd land and you'd kind of cut the edge of the track a little bit, straight back, wide open to the barrel jump.
And unless you're Ryan Howe, you check up just a little bit,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just a tidbit.
just a tick.
Ah, the good old days.
We just took a moment of silence there to remember the good old days.
Yeah.
May they rest in peace. Oh, Scott, how'd your MRI go?
So, got my second MRI of this whole shoulder fiasco yesterday, and it sucked. So I got one.
Did they twist you around and shit?
A little bit, yeah. So I did the MRI with contrast, which is where they shoot the dye into your arm,
Yeah.
and that was not even the slightest bit of fun at
No,
all.
I've done that.
Is it sting?
So it wasn't like they give you a little bit of lidocaine and they numb up, so you don't really feel it go through your skin or anything. But when they get to the spot,
Yeah.
that's when you like. I said some choice words with the radiologist just on a natural reaction, and I even apologized because it was inappropriate.
you're a man.
you know. But anyways, so got that done. Climbed into the MRI machine and laid there for about an hour straight, and it was not fun because about 30 minutes in, my arm just started. My shoulder just started pounding. I mean, just started getting super, super sore and aggravating. But I don't have results yet. So I had the MRIs done. I have a copy of it at home. And now it's just, I go see my surgeon on Monday at 11 o'clock.
For just like a post.
Post MRI for a follow-up to find out what we got to do next. So right
Oh,
now.
you have another surgery?
I don't know. So that's what this next appointment is, to decide if I've got to have another surgery or not. I'm just over 5 months post-op, and I can't lift my arm over my head. So that's a problem. I should at least be able to lift it over my head right now. Like, this is as high as it can go. This
Now,
is as high as my arm
is
goes.
that because there's blockage or you don't know yet?
So I don't know yet. So the idea is this is my third surgery on this shoulder. So it's either A, it's very weak, So it's just going to take a long time to rebuild, or B, one of the muscles that they've repaired has retorn, and I've got to have surgery to fix it.
Yeah.
Does it hurt at that point, or
Yeah,
it just won't go?
Pretty much hurts all the time, but no, it just won't go. Like if you picked up my arm, it would go up over my head.
And if I picked
So you're
it up,
just being a vagina.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
big, salty,
Yeah.
sandy.
So like when I go to PT, like I can lift my arm all the way over my head if like my therapist has it and pulls it over my head. I just can't physically make it.
Does it hurt when they do that though?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
and
but,
so
I mean,
Like
there's
it's like
gonna be
stretching
pain.
it,
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like stretch, like a heavy stretch. After doing like a heavy leg workout or something, it's like that is what it feels like. But I don't have the strength. The mobility, it just won't do it. My arm won't go that high. And with the nerve damage I've had done and fixed on this shoulder, my collarbone plate, there's a whole bunch of things that come into place. The other part that they showed me in the X-ray from my appointment yesterday was that my humerus, like the top of my humerus bone, has like a little chunk out of it from dislocating, and so that might be part of the issue that I have going on as well. But I will have an appointment on Monday to find out what's going on.
Does the dye make you throw up?
No, it didn't. No.
Did it with you, Mike?
Yes, every time. And I can't sit up like when I'm laying that flat because there's nothing for me to grab onto. So like I can't use my abs. So it's not like I could do a sit up. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to throw up. And they're like, hold on just a second, Mr. Garrison. And I'm like,
Drowning.
Seriously?
yes, I'm dead serious.
From them injecting it into you?
Yes. Like I start getting warm and then I'm like,
Here it comes.
and I can taste it. And then I'm like, my mouth starts watering and I'm like, oh no. And then like I think about something else and I'm like, no, don't do it. And then I'm like, MRI guy, I'm going to throw. And then that's what happens. But then it just pours out and it runs all over me. And then they come in and they're like, okay, oh no. And I'm like, yep.
That's pretty bad. I haven't had that.
Yeah. Do you have to go back for any like updates or
No, not unless I do something stupid.
Yeah.
I got dropped out of a school bus, the back of a bus, and I had to go. I chipped my knee, but they didn't do anything about it. The exact words from the doctor was, it's not going to make a difference. That was the exact word. The exact words from the doctor.
Have you seen the videos of the dude jumping the wheelchair encasing the mega ramp? Yeah.
Yeah.
I read the comments on that one.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Wow.
So
talking about wheels?
my knee
Yeah,
has
I don't
like a
know.
weird kind of a click to it. Like it's kind of notchy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hinder me in any way. It doesn't hurt, obviously.
Whenever I tore my MCL on my left knee, I had to do x-rays. And whenever I did, the chiropractor, he pulled them up and he had a nice little laugh. And I'm like, what's so funny? He said, do your knees hurt? Like, yeah, why? And I can't remember what, because he said the medical term, of course, but it's essentially tiny little bone spurs that grow underneath your kneecaps. Nick, do you have those?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what they're called? It's not a bone spur.
No, but they're awful.
And it's just this tiny little like grit of sand that from dirt bikes.
So that's why my left knee hurts right now.
Is it
probably.
like direct? No, it only hurts whenever you're moving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like putting weight on it, like walking upstairs.
But it's directly in the middle under the kneecap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've just self-diagnosed me. Thanks. Now that I know.
It's just these tiny little bone spurs. And I was telling him like, yeah, dude, my knees hurt a lot, this, that, and the other. And then he said, well, let's take a look. And then he throws that thing up there and it's,
Dr. Woodle.
wow, no, what was our doctor's name? No,
chiropractor.
I had a different guy than you did.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was the best chiropractor I've
You guys
ever
do
seen.
go in together?
We went to the same chiropractor's office.
Sitting on the line?
What?
Sitting on the line together. Hey, I'm going to blow my knee out this moto. Yeah, me too. We can have the same doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We can use each other as crutches.
Yeah.
Here, you go in and then refer me. I'll come in 30
Yeah.
minutes later.
We get
a
split the
discount.
referral fee.
Yeah.
2 for 1.
But the place that we went, it was covered by both our insurance policies, and it was a sports medicine place. Oh. Yeah, so that's why we went there.
What sold me on him was he referred to working on my body like working on a dirt bike. I was like, oh, you're good. That's all I need.
Fix it. Fix
Yeah.
it.
And they also didn't tell us to stop riding.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you know what the worst hospital experience I've ever had is?
What?
Okay, you've told me a million times, like, you feel as though I've lived under a rock and I'm slightly naive to things, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I went in, this was before I was hurt, and my appendix was going bad. Nothing to do with motocross. So I'm laying there and they're like, hey, we think your appendix is going bad. We're going to probably have to take it out, but we really don't know for sure. We're going to have to do some tests. I said, hey, okay, no problem. So like, we're going to do whatever, some kind of CAT scan or something like that. And then we're going to do an enema. And I said, okay, yeah, that's fine. I had no idea what an enema was. And when you were talking about throw your leg up there, so the lady comes in, she's like, okay, go ahead and put your knees up in the air for me. I'm like, well, this is weird, okay. Because I'm waiting for like some kind of scan machine.
Yeah.
There it goes, buddy. I learned what an enema was.
Straight in.
Straight in. Yep. And then
Didn't spit on it or anything.
nothing. No warning, no nothing. And she was like, you, sir, she's like, you have been a real trooper and you are the nicest patient I've ever had in this situation. Yeah. I didn't know what you were about to do to me. I thought you were just going to do an innocent CAT scan or something.
So
that's when I learned what an enema was.
for our listeners, if you want to go back and listen to me and Mike really get into it about how under the rock he is, listen to episode, it's either 17 or 22, one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's 17. We were talking about some like layman's terms, everyday, like common denominator type shit. And Mike's just giving me the stairway to heaven. He had no idea what I was talking about.
Kinda like when
He does that from time to time.
When you were talking about, oh man, I can't even think of his name now. When the Korean guy was in the news a lot, and you were talking about him on a dirt bike.
Oh, wait, Kim Jong-un?
Yes. And I thought you were talking about like somebody in like the Japanese supercross championship. I'm like, oh,
You didn't know who that was?
No, I was like, what is he talking about?
Well, he doesn't answer his phone for a good 3 hours at a time,
Okay.
6 hours at a time.
Let's have a quick chat. What were you doing today that allowed 40 text messages to build up in our group chat, which is not a big group chat?
No, but apparently, well, first of all, I have a bad habit of turning my phone on silent, and then I put it between my legs. So unless I hear my balls rattling, I don't ever know what's going off.
That's fuck. I tip my cap to you, sir.
So as good a reason as you can come up with.
I don't think you can argue that.
So basically, I just happened to stumble across it, and there was 38 text messages.
Yeah.
One of which was a naked man riding a wooden pony, and something about boners, man boners, and I don't know. I just quit reading.
Kevin, answer for your crimes.
They were all referring to Kevin.
Nick. They were Nick.
But they were all referring to you.
They were all referring to Kevin.
Yeah, Nick likes to talk some trash.
Do all your little friends at the farm know that you're gay?
Oh my.
He hasn't broke the news yet.
Yeah, I haven't came out yet.
I was thinking about that, dude. Okay. When I was in like 6th grade or so, I was at the lunch table, and this fucking kid, Steele Ferguson, just takes a bite out of his sandwich, looks at me, and I'm sitting there eating my lunch. He says, "Hey, Jeff, do your parents know that you're gay?" And I was like, "What? No." And as soon as I said it, I was like, "Fuck." And because he's like, "Oh, so you're gay, but you haven't told her?" And I was like, "What? No." Dude, that was just one of those defining life moments where I got tricked big time.
That's good, though. That's a good...
Did anybody ever hit you with that one, Scott?
No, that's
a
the
Nick
first I've
joke.
heard of that. But I've heard of other scenarios like that, but that's a quality joke.
Damn you, Ferguson.
Steele Ferguson.
Steele.
Yeah.
What a name.
Dude, he got me good, bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
And back then, that meant a lot, too. That was like a big deal if you said no to that.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you said, I mean, there's no, it's like a double entendre. You cannot get out of that. You're gay either way. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, because I know that somebody that listens to us is gay, and we love you.
Does he happen to be in studio wearing a black hat named Kevin?
Sure does.
Good times.
We could get so raunchy with this right now. But
I'm just waiting for the roast.
We wouldn't make fun of you because you're gay.
Just because he likes to eat crayons.
Yeah.
His favorite flavor is purple.
Yeah, we didn't answer that. So you have a favorite flavored?
Oh, this is Nick's joke. That's why we're trying to get him to do the voice.
My name's Kevin, and my favorite flavor crayon is purple.
When he just busts that out of nowhere. Oh, man.
That's really, dude. You're
Jacob and I
almost
couldn't handle it.
Well, it got to the point where that was like the only voice I would talk in.
Well, that's like whenever we were traveling this year, whenever my girlfriend was with us, Sam couldn't keep up at all. We were speaking in essentially 3 different movie quotes.
Yeah.
And Nick and I are in the front seat driving, just giggling our fucking heads off.
They're lost.
Yeah. And like Sam and my girlfriend are sitting in the back seat looking at each other like, what are they even saying? What are they saying?
What were the movies?
I don't know what it means, but I love it.
Okay, so it was Talladega Nights, Wedding Crashers, Step Brothers, some Blue Street quotes, and was there anything else?
It's like putting candy around me. I'm gonna chomp it up.
He said, I don't want to leave the pizza with Shamu over there.
It's like leaving candy around me. I'm gonna chomp it up.
How you doing, Scott?
So this is something I was thinking about earlier. I was just roughly thinking of topics to talk about. If and also because I was scrolling Instagram. If you could ride anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a good one. I really love it.
And don't fucking say Oakland, god damn it. Or the Riverfront GP, which we'll get into that later.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about Oakland or wherever the hell the Riverfront GP is.
You can't judge it if you've never been.
I don't care. It's still not on the list, okay? You can't say it either. Oaklandites over
You've
here.
got 3 people that love Oakland. Sitting at the
Kevin,
table.
do you like Oakland?
I mean, I've been there once.
But
It
did
was
you
pretty
not
cool.
have a
It was pretty
blast?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
You and me, Mike, we're hanging strong.
However,
hanging
it's
strong.
nothing compared to like riding the hills in California.
Okay,
Shut up, Kevin.
So we're gonna I read the hills.
Well, oh my goodness.
Okay,
That's
so
not
anyways,
what I meant by it.
Did you notice how
I'm just saying it kind of
demeanor
killed
changed?
Oakland for
No.
me.
Did you notice that how the wrist that he's holding the microphone went limp whenever he said that? Yeah, but it's not like riding the
Oh
hills
my
in
goodness.
California.
So
I fucking love it. You guys.
Well,
Big hell.
listen to this little giggle.
yeah, dude, I got a
if he
high
didn't
pitched little
laugh like
squeal.
that, then-
But
Do you go to Missy B's or what's the Topeka Gay Bar? Which one do you go to?
What is Missy?
Missy
B's?
B's is not a gay. I mean,
It's
it
a
is
gay club.
Gay bar,
Oh,
isn't it?
it's a drag. It's a
drag-
drag show.
yeah,
Never
it's a
mind.
drag
It's
show
next door to that. Outrageous or something.
Kevin
is the
frequents
gay bar.
Hamburger Mary's.
Hamburger. Is that
Which
what I'm thinking?
no,
of?
that's also a drag place.
Yeah, it's a drag place.
I mean, they're gay bars, but they have drag
Right,
shows.
okay,
Which,
right.
by the way, it would be a really good time if we went to either of those.
I've been to Hamburger Mary's.
I haven't been, but my parents and sister and a bunch of them just went.
It's
and
a lot of fun.
they said it was.
I went
good.
with-
my
Whoa,
dad. Went. He said it was a good
Going
time.
to a what?
I went with
Did I get
I went
this
with
wrong?
Courtney and her parents to Hamburger Mary's, and the food was really good. Actually,
Did you go for a Sunday morning brunch by chance?
no.
Okay. It's okay. So Kevin, at these gay bars, they have drag shows, which is imagine like men dressed in drag,
Women.
I
And
mean,
you enjoy
men
that?
look like
Yeah.
women.
You
and
enjoy that?
They put on a show.
dude,
Okay.
they are the best performance you ever seen in your life. They're like so just over the top, flamboyantly extra gay, but dudes in drag,
Yeah.
And makeup and all that.
and they're singing along to like Paula Abdul and the
He doesn't even know who that is.
You're right.
But anyways, yes.
yeah. It's
I get the point.
It's very, very fun.
It's
you just-
entertaining.
yeah, it's entertainment, and it's cheap too. It's like $5 to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Good to know.
Someone's gonna try throwing their hot dog down your hallway, but if you have
Especially you and the fair skin and
dude, the last time that I went, I accidentally I did not know that I was going there. First off, because
were you wearing like short shorts?
short shorts and a lavender tank top that was a touch too tight.
Oh my god.
Probably the outfit that he wore to Redbud in 2010 or whatever. It
Probably.
was.
So you fit right in, basically.
That was nice. Okay. Anyway.
So, anyways, back to like the real conversation we were talking about before we got derailed.
Talking about drag.
I was scrolling Instagram and I was like, man, Castillo Ranch is up there. And then I saw McGrath's place was for sale. And like just places you could go ride, which I don't think my balls are big enough to ride at McGrath's place. Like those are some big fucking jumps from Steel Roots too.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But if you could go shred somewhere, like right like that, or just really anywhere, I guess.
Okay, now-
where would you go?
Let me further complicate this. It has to be somewhere that we've never been.
Right.
Okay. What's your
Right,
answer?
it would be probably Castillo Ranch because it's been in every cool dirt bike movie you've ever
Yeah.
seen, and like you've got to be in to ride there.
Very.
And like, is that where Pastrana and those guys did all those big ass jumps back in like Revelation 199?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean the 12 pack?
Probably the big jumps, like by the power lines on the big
Yeah.
hills. Is
No,
that where
like,
that
are you
is?
talking where like Pastrana did like the 200-something foot jump when he was young? Broke
No.
the record?
That was like at his
Or
house
the
in Maryland.
huge doubles.
Like the big, they're like big tabletops. But like where he jumped over the fence one year and shit like that. It's gotta be
That
Castillo
might be
Ranch.
Castillo
It's
Ranch
gotta
where he
be.
broke his leg or blew out his knee when he jumped over the
Probably.
fence.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
if
it's
we're
gotta be the
talking
same
now.
place.
However, if we're talking Terra Firma 2, where McGrath is on the Honda and is sending it over the top of the fence on the big hill, and that's Castillo Ranch.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
it's the
think
same
it
place.
is.
It's
Yeah.
because Pastrana was redoing it back in like 06. He
Yes.
was
Yeah, there you go.
re-jumping that or
Because he blew out his knee and missed Supercross.
something like that. Yeah. But anyways, like that's where they were doing the big jump, like Kerry Hart's hitting that big jump and doing
Yeah.
the heart attack.
I was
actually.
watching Stone Spray Sandwich the other night, and that's in it.
So that is probably where I would go because they've got a full blown Supercross track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which obviously I don't need to be on, but I'd ride it. You know,
Yeah, why not?
whatever. Yeah. And then they've got the hills. They've got a motocross track, and like I think that place and like it's elite of the elite to ride. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've never
what
even
you
rode a
see,
motorcycle
it
in California, but from what I can tell, you've got to be in to ride there. So I think that's where I'd pick.
Most California places aren't even that cool. I haven't ridden Cahillo Creek, but like
I've been there.
It's pretty good.
Paula,
yeah,
it's not- it's
pretty
not
good.
like
it's a
number
cool
one,
place
though.
to ride a dirt bike.
yeah, like Paula, Milestone. Milestone is like Kingsville, which is like Tampa MX. Which it's a night track, basically.
So, but you got to pick a place that you've never been to.
I would like to go to Club MX.
Ooh, nice choice.
Yeah.
That's actually on my like to-do list.
There's a lot of places I've always wanted to go to Zaca Station.
Yeah,
And
that's the one I was
when
thinking
I
of.
was heading from Northern California to Southern California, I was calling the guy. I was like, "Hey, I'd like to come out because I heard if you just call him, he's really cool with letting everybody come out." And that was literally, I'm not the first person, but he told me before they made it public that they were closing shop.
Right. They just
Damn.
closed this
It
summer,
was
right?
it was right when I called him.
Yeah.
That sucks.
like they had ridden there the day before.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
And that's like
super
the only
bummed.
track in NorCal or whatever, isn't it?
only good
there's
one.
yeah.
There's
The
some
only good
actually.
Allegedly, there's another track right down the road.
I mean, I have no idea. I've never even rode a motorcycle in
I
California.
forget what city they're the closest to, but there's East Street and like Riverfront. A couple tracks I rode
Riverfront
at.
GP?
No, that's Bay Area.
Not on the
Yeah,
list, damn it.
Those were actually really fun tracks.
E Street looks sick.
East Street is super fun. Riverfront is actually they're both really fun. They're shorter, but
Yeah.
East Street had better dirt, I'd say.
Kevin,
Yes. Oh. Sorry. You guys are just kind of rambling there for a second. Anyway,
You could ride a dirt bike anywhere in the world. Where would you ride? Yes.
I mean, honestly, I'd kind of have to agree with what he said. I would love to go ride in the hills again in California. Or
but it
go to
has to
that
be
place.
somewhere you haven't been.
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
the
Castillo Ranch.
Castillo Ranch, where you
I
got
don't even know
a
that's how you
mix of
say
the
their name
hills,
right. I
the
think it
track. It was really cool, just hitting big old hip jumps
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It was fun. Something that you don't do every day.
Mike.
Just to irritate you, I would slay in Axel Hodges' backyard.
Fuck you.
Which it happens to be McGrath's place, isn't it? Isn't that where
Is
he-
it?
or
I don't
no?
know.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
No, they're
No, they have-
neighbors.
Oh, okay.
They're neighbors.
There you go. God, that's a heavy stream, Nick. That is a serious stream.
The trickle.
Shake twice, or
It starts
shake more
again.
than twice. You're playing with yourself.
Did you finish your monster?
Not quite.
I already put down mine, and I got P2.
Oh yeah, it'll do that. not Josh Coppins. There was a kid from Australia that rode Hondas and wore shift gear. And in one of the Moto movies, there's a video of him riding his Honda on this epic sand track that's on the fucking beach. That's like, who is it? What was that kid's name?
I know exactly
who
who
that
you're
is.
talking about. I don't know.
His name.
But it's his.
He did some supercross.
Yeah. It was his private track. Him and his family lived on the beach, and they had a private track on the side of the beach. And, dude, it's just like this perfect dune covered in natural grasses that has a motocross track carved out of it. And it's like the epic, just giant bowls, big sand rollers.
Kachia.
Ca-
Kachia.
no, that's not how you said it. It was like Cassia or something like that.
I didn't look it
What
up,
was his
but
first
It just
name?
came with Josh.
Okay, so I had Josh right. Yeah. Cassia.
Sure, whatever.
That guy.
Cashews.
Cashews. Josh Cashews. That place. That's
We,
right.
we always just called him Kachia. So I don't know.
Kachia.
Are you on like a first name basis with them? Are you guys tight?
No. I remember
Kachia.
I remember it was me and Austin were watching a Supercross one time, and we were calling out who we wanted to win, and we called out Kachia.
Kachia. Did you pick a place?
Yeah, Axel Hodges.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna slay.
I'm going to slay in his backyard.
slay
slay
and
so
send
hard.
it.
Yeah.
You're gonna send it and slay.
I'm going to send it in the sleigh while I. What other words does
What-
he hate?
I don't. That's like. Are you like send it and say like Santa? Like Santa Claus?
Yeah, but if he doesn't get it, I'll send a GIF later in text.
Ooh, good.
Did you
Good.
you did pick where you want to go, Axel Hodges?
Yeah, Axel Hodges. I'd like to slay in Axel Hodges' backyard.
So, Kevin, you
Slayground.
never picked. Wait,
Slayground.
no, you picked the
No,
hills.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
You kind of.
I would love to go back to California and ride the hills. But there's so many. Like the last time we went out there, like there was a helicopter that came out there looking for us, kind of deal. Like it's not allowed. At least,
actually,
at
if
the
you just
Beaumont Hills or
Look
whatever
at
is where
that
it was.
property.
We didn't know it when we
Tell
went out
me you
there,
wouldn't
though.
want to ride a dirt bike.
Well, yeah,
there.
you're in Australia. I want to do everything in
Yeah.
Australia.
Well,
I don't
listen,
even.
you guys
Except
were
get bit by
talking about
something.
the fucking hills in California. Like that's
I mean,
a special
Bro,
place.
I've never.
It's a
I
lot
don't
better
know.
than Kansas.
Yeah, I was just thinking of something I saw right off the top of my head. It doesn't
Dragoon's
mean
pretty
it's-
badass.
Bar to bar
Has
is the way to
anybody
go.
driving through the Flint Hills, which is the most miserable drive ever? When you're going through the Flint Hills, though, have you ever wanted to go ride in the Flint Hills?
Yeah, on the sides that there's not rock.
Well,
Yes and no, like because I always think about like fuck, you're gonna hit a hole that you're not gonna see, like you're riding in the desert,
Yeah,
and next thing you
yeah.
know, you're done for.
Wouldn't that be like that with any sort of hills?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Casino Ranch, like they build jumps in the hills. It just
Yeah,
looks
exactly.
cool, but I
That-
don't know. Like I thought Ocotillo Wells would always be pretty cool, but I guess those jumps are just like ginormous, and I'm not gonna jump any of that.
I take that back. You know where I'd actually want to go?
Where would you actually want to
In
go?
all seriousness, Deegan's house. He's got a rally car track. He's got a
Now,
short course truck track.
Where, just
have to-
Pastrana's house?
He's got he's got
Oh.
woods. I hate woods. I hate trees.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds pretty sick. I want to go into a foam pit.
I feel like if you're going to Pastrana's, though, you're getting hurt.
But
Like,
are you talking
yes.
if you're riding a dirt bike or like a side by side or a car?
Well, I guess if you're on I don't know, because he's got like a motocross track there too, doesn't he? For his
I
kid.
think he's
Yeah,
got
he's
all
got a
kinds of shit.
supercross track, motocross
Yeah.
track. He's got it all.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. Because while you're there, it'd be kind of like going to Chad Reed's place. You
Which
race
would be
go-karts
super
right there.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to the Nest. It's called the Nest now.
Yeah.
Is that
right?
Baggett's place?
Or no, or is it Sandbox? Moto
Yeah,
Sandbox.
Sandbox.
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
where, like,
Baggett's is the ranch.
Sexton and all them ride.
I
El
think so,
Chupacabra,
but is
dude.
that Langston's old place? Because that
It
place
was like
always looked cool.
Langston's, Villapoto's, someone else's at some point.
It looked really
Grundle.
Grundle,
And then
sorry,
now
yeah.
it's Jason Baker's place.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grondel, they
So-
call him like the eagle.
The eagle.
So it's the nest.
Yeah, that's why they called it that. I've rode there. Listen, it's not a special track. It's got big tabletops. Okay, full disclosure. I ate fucking shit over the biggest tabletop there. I'm just going to say it.
Noob.
But total.
Yeah, maybe you should have judged the distance better.
Oh, I did. I just OJ'd it. But even before then, I was just like, this is just corner, big jump, corner, big jump, corner. Like it had no flavor. It was just like hang time and bowls.
Kind of like what Dreamland would probably be like.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, that's cool and all. That's cool. That's a cool track to have. It's not necessarily, like the kind of place that's going to be fun to ride day in and day out.
Well, is that the criteria?
Well, it's
We're talking
whatever's-
about places we wanted to ride.
It's whatever's appealing to you.
I will say, however, dude, whenever I went to Chupacabra Ranch and I was watching, I was like, this is a track that I want to ride.
Pretty cool.
Dude,
Yeah, it
has
looks cool.
every single element there. Big jumps, small jumps, big rollers, little rollers, pitted bowls, off campers, giant ruts, massive braking bumps, the whole deal.
Well, it's like what he said when in the first video they had him in it, he took every main obstacle from each outdoor track and put that on his track. So it's like all of the coolest obstacles on the outdoor circuit on one track.
Yeah. And it is.
Stewart's Place.
It'd be cool because it's like a golf course.
It'd be scary.
But I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like it'd be
it would
scary.
be.
It's kind of like Kennard's place used to be.
Yeah.
We rode that place opening day.
I don't know.
And-
Some of those jumps at Stewart's look bigger.
Oh,
than
no, that's what I
Trey's.
mean. But I
And
mean, like, dude,
Trey's
we
jumps
rode,
were gigantic.
We rode Trey's opening weekend, opening day, whatever, when Jason was out there building it. And dude, it was like riding in a video game.
They were
It was-
scary jumps to jump.
Yeah, I
at
mean,
first.
but they were super easy.
Yeah.
But like you had to nut up or shut up because they were big. You just had to go fast.
very big. You didn't
And-
want to case them or over jump
Yeah.
them
And
whatsoever.
it was pretty wild.
and then
but it's
when
a cool place to
when you
ride.
watch Trey ride, you're just dead sailor in these jumps, and you're 30 feet high, and he is dragging his foot peg over a jump that a lot of people don't even want to jump.
I have no interest in riding a track like that.
It was scary at first.
Yeah. That's not entertaining to me.
It's tough to be able to put down a moto on a track like that
Yeah,
when
to
you're
nut
not
up.
used to it. To go from Kansas City where there's no jumps to
Well, we have a track.
yeah. Well,
Good point.
Well, even back when I went down to when we're talking about Trey's, that was what 2013.
Yeah, 11, 12, 13 in there. Yeah.
that area. So we had plenty of places to ride up here, but there's nothing difficult here. So like when you go down south to real tracks, it's like, holy shit, I've never seen this before.
It's definitely a game changer whenever you can't jump everything first lap without looking at and not even looking at the track.
Yes, it is.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we can go out to KC Moto and go really fucking fast.
Yeah.
But there's nothing on that track that you can't safely jump first lap.
No.
The arbitrary example, but because the track's closed. But
It'll be open again.
that's what
Adrenaline
Adrenaline
Sports Park. Or
Motorplex for those
Motorplex.
of you listening.
who bought it?
Yeah,
I don't know them. I saw their names and I didn't recognize them, but I'm not 100% sure. But they're talking like they're opening in the spring.
I saw it on Facebook. I know it's sold. It's theirs.
Yeah, they've been working. They say they've been working on it. I don't know if they're working on the facility itself or if they're working on whatever else they need to have it running. But
Speaking of that, Best of Midwest Series, Round 1, Midwest Extreme Park.
I was told that they got the go ahead to open back up.
Really?
That's news to me. Cool.
I remember
I
that.
heard this
hadn't heard that either.
I heard this 2 weeks ago, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But
Cool.
I was told by a source that I would find reliable, that would not give out information if they didn't feel it was true.
So you did not hear from Jeff.
No.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm just saying you're the only one on the show that's ever gotten a call from your sponsor.
Hey, you know what? That guy's one of my buddies now.
Well, you're also the only one on the show that could turn that and somehow make a better deal out of anyone else would have lost their ride, but you actually gained a better ride.
Our friend Dylan Cooper once looked me in the face and said, Jeff, you're the only person I know that can fall into a pile of shit and come out smelling like roses.
Couldn't be more accurate.
Yes.
Probably because you do it so often.
I'm good at it.
It's a skill.
It's a curse.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah.
What do they say? It's because of all your experience, and you get experience from making. You get good decision making from experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I can't think what it's.
I feel like there was a saying.
Yeah,
that was
there's a saying, but I've
supposed to
totally.
happen,
I was looking into your eyes when I got lost.
Hey,
That's cute.
we need to settle something right here, right now.
I'm so excited.
Is it 6 in one, half a
Oh
dozen
my.
in the other, or 6 of one, half a dozen of the other?
In one.
Okay, Mike says in. Scott.
I believe we had this discussion on the last show.
No, we didn't.
Then we've had this discussion.
I've heard this
I've heard
discussion
this
about
discussion
37 times.
on OTB.
I think it's of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. 6 in one, half.
I have
half a
never
dozen
heard of
the
this.
Do you
saying, so-
understand the saying?
Say it again.
6 in one, half a dozen in the other. Okay, first, do you know what a dozen is?
Yes.
Okay, so half a dozen is
6.
okay. So if you have 6 in one and half a dozen in the other, it means you have the same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, no, I get what you're saying.
So basically,
Now,
like
I'm like
if-
short circuiting right now because I'm trying. Like I've too much information.
We're
Yeah, dude, my fucking virtual reality.
I mean, when you say it
glitching.
fast, does it really matter? Like,
well,
Kinda get
no,
the same.
and see, like, okay, Nick and I got into this on the road this
it
year.
was a long debate.
Yeah. And then we realized that the saying itself couldn't be more applicable
To the argument.
Yeah, to the argument than it was.
That's good.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be
Kevin,
the same
so
thing?
if you don't understand it, it's like saying you have 2 routes to get here from your house. They're the same distance. So you would say 6 of one, half a dozen of the other because they're the same.
yeah.
Two things that are the same.
I got a question. I got another saying that I want to settle because Jacob and I had a fight about this on the road. Is it if somebody does something dumb or like disrespectful? Is it were you born in a barn or were you raised in a barn?
Born in a barn is
I've
like when
never-
you leave the door open.
No, raised
Or
in a
like
barn is
something
when
like
you
that.
leave the door open.
Yeah. Well,
I've
is
never
it- it's-
heard born in a barn.
Yeah, because if you're born in the barn and you're raised like normally,
Jesus was born in a barn.
I've heard
nothing
both,
about
but
it. But if you're raised in a barn,
I've heard he was a
like, you
good
leave the
dude,
door
so
open.
The-
stuff
the-
like
the-
that.
That's a bad thing.
the common one I've heard is, have you born in a barn? That's the one I know. So
But that doesn't make sense if you think about it. Like,
I've heard, are you raised in a barn?
I've heard that
Thank
were you
you.
raised in a barn.
thank you.
Born-
I'm going to go
born
with
in a
Scott
barn.
with I've only heard born in a barn.
it must be a Missouri,
It's
Kansas
three- it's-
thing.
Is it a
32.
red barn?
I win, Jacob.
Well, no.
Hey, look at that
Oh,
quick
you
tally.
changing it up
he
on
just,
me?
He just
want-
quick. He just.
I mean, if we really want to think about this, I don't know. It doesn't really. Born in a barn, raised in a barn.
So
6 in one, half a
I've heard
dozen in the
are
other.
you
Were you born under a rock? That's a saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
you're
live
saying
under-
you're saying born, and you're saying raised.
No.
Yes.
No,
No.
they're born,
Born
we're
and
raised.
No,
No,
born,
born and born.
born and born.
Yeah, born, raised.
I've only heard, were you raised in a barn?
Yeah, only thing that makes sense. Because if you're
I've
born in a
heard
barn,
both.
Now, but hold on.
You could
But
be raised in a
Jacob says born.
Born.
So it's born 3, raised 3.
well,
So it's a tie.
What a
Man.
conundrum we
6
have.
of one,
here.
half a dozen of the other.
Comment: is it born or raised? Yeah. We'll get our viewers some
Yeah.
action.
All
We can
11
get to
of
that
them.
later. RFGP.
Oh, I can't fucking wait to
I
hear
hear
about
that
this.
you told Brent that it was the most fun he'll ever have on his dirt bike, and he disagreed.
Yeah.
Hold on, Brent. Who?
Rouse.
Oh, okay. Then also, I know there was a wager on the line
Yeah.
between you.
No,
and-
not me.
No. Oh,
Between
between-
Keaton McCallum and Greg Albertson.
Okay, so I want to hear full spectrum. I want to hear
Did Greg race it?
Brent's.
Greg
information.
didn't race.
Oh, okay.
No.
So go ahead.
Can I just real quick just sum up Jeff's race? Even though I wasn't even there.
Yes, please.
And then the sound of like a GoPro in the leaves, like
And then a bike rides by.
yeah, that's Jeff's race. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
All right. So Brent Rouse. Dude, okay.
Where did he come? Where did they come from? What part of the nation were they in at the time?
Southern California.
Okay, so they came from California.
Yeah.
Oh my
They came
God!
from-
You talked them into driving.
They came from home.
No. They own a house in they're moving to Arkansas. They bought a house in Arkansas. Or no, they didn't buy it. His grandparents bought a house in Arkansas in Bella Vista many, many years ago. Okay, so they've always come out to Arkansas for vacation.
Yeah, they
that
told
kind of
me
stuff.
that.
The grandparents passed away. They inherited a house, so now they come out here and stay. After staying so many times, they decided Arkansas is way better than California. So they're in the process of buying a big property out here. They're going to move out here. Through me racing with them during the Outdoor Nationals and becoming buddies with them, we stayed in contact. And I told them, I was like, dude, if you guys just happen to be in Arkansas, there's this race around Thanksgiving weekend that's called the RFGP. I sold them on it. Fast forward to about a minute into the first lap of the RFGP, I'm thinking they're going to hate me. These guys are going to fucking hate me so bad. I felt so bad, dude, because they had gotten monsoon rains at that property the 2 weekends prior in a row. So the single track areas, dude, first lap, mint condition. And it's like inlet Velcro traction, front and rear. I mean, and it's like every tire cuts its own rut. Just perfect. Okay. Now, mind you, I was in third going through the single track on the first lap. Brent was buried in the back of the pack. I'm pretty sure he was in last. He had never done a dead engine start before, especially not with a bunch of woods riders.
Who are good at dead engine starts.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it was a whole new ball game for him. Going into the first corner, he comes out last place. And, I mean, no discredit to him. We're talking about pro rider, pro woods racers. These guys are really good at what they're doing. But yeah, I'm like banging off of trees, which I've never done at the RFGP. It was significantly tighter than prior years this year. And I told him, because typically it's like a tractor wide pretty much the entire time. And we went straight into the single track. And I'm like, oh, these poor fucking California boys are going to be so mad at me. And like, we're going through water holes and shit. And I know that next lap around, it's going to be an entirely different course. First lap, dude, water holes are, 6 inches deep of just standing water. And I know that down there in those soggy bottoms, that next lap around, everything's going to be 2 feet deep, just mud ruts. It's precisely what it was. But yeah, first lap, Cameron, Ishmael, and I got together. He tried passing me around this. It was a split section that went around a tree, came together. It barely curved right, and whenever it did, there was a tree that had hooked out into like kind of out to the course. He didn't see it, saw it last second, tried to veer left. My line came down into him. He hit the tree that was hooked out, ran into the side of me from behind, ran into me. That isn't what got me, because we were making contact, like going down the straightaway. That's not what got me. What got me was whenever he high-sided and the bike flipped into my back and sent me left. It shot me left because it hit me in the back on my right side, jammed my right hand forward, steered me left into the trees. If you watch the video, there's a little red fender that goes like through just the bottom right corner of the video. And it just sends me wide open into some trees. That kind of fucked my race up from there.
So the video that I watched on Instagram was a result of him hitting you.
Correct.
Because you can't see it in the video.
No. I didn't lose control. No, and if you read the comments, or the comment that I posted, the caption, it explains what happens. But of course, nobody ever reads it.
I didn't read it.
No.
So that was that one that it was, you're on obviously. You shut off left right into that tree, like you faced into a tree.
Yes.
That little one?
Face first.
Yeah.
It looks little in the
You're
video.
Cooking too.
Dude, it was about this big around and some other little ones around it.
They don't move.
No, Well, one of them was dead, thankfully. One of them was a dead tree. But I slammed, dude. Slammed hard. Yep. It broke. One of them went straight through my left fork guard. It broke, not ripped, but broke my left radiator shroud off. Barely dented my left radiator. Broke my left hand guard off. Busted my GoPro off. Broke my visor. Ripped my, I don't know when it happened, but like my Camelback sucky straw thing. Yeah. That was flopping around the rest of the race. Everything was all assed up.
Tell me
And
more
that was
about
right
this
away.
super cool RFGP.
What'd you say?
Tell me more about this super cool RFGP.
Dude, it just was a racing incident that happened. It had nothing to do with it being on RFGP. It had nothing to do with the track being tight. It had nothing to do with anything other than...
Oh, I do remember that one time on the motocross track when you hit that tree. Oh, no, that never happened.
No, instead you hit a telephone pole.
I hit
Like
a
we
tree
just talked
on a
about.
motocross track at Loretta's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
There's
all
like
that-
2 trees at Loretta's.
Yeah, and I
What
hit
about
one of
all the
them.
guys that hit the trees at Branson back in the day? Remember Cagney broke his bike in half?
Straight
Up
off
by the start?
the straight.
What about the guy at Possum Hall that T-boned the water truck? Remember that guy?
I don't know if I was there that day.
It was a Missouri State race. They had to cart the guy off. I thought it cut him in half.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Water truck was clearly parked off the track.
And he hit it.
He got the checkered flag and came off the track full throttle. He was like a 50 kid in the pits. He went faster after he got the checkered flag than he did, and just
Like Carmichael into the boat.
yes, exactly. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
I remember,
Without a water truck.
speaking of winning and then crashing, I remember seeing Tommy Hoffmaster in an arena cross, Buku arena cross, throw a huge whip over the finish line. I was too new to know what was happening, but I don't know if it was a heat or a main or what, but he won through a gigantic whip, crashed.
That sucks.
I'm pretty sure he won, but it was pretty interesting.
So then after that, it was just kind of a salvage race for me because I was hurt pretty bad. I can't show you guys without showing you my balls, but I had this dude.
I mean, Kevin might not mind.
yeah, Kevin will get
Goodness.
thick. So I've got a giant scab right on the front of my left hip, like where my femoral artery is all bruised up. Not the actual artery, but the muscle that goes over the top of it right here is hard. It's still bruised. The muscle's bruised. It was a deep, deep bruise. I took a photo. Actually, you know what? I got a photo of it that I can show you guys. Essentially, from like
Photo your balls.
my whole pubic bone, left hip down onto my thigh is just this gigantic bruise. Huge. I've never had a bruise that bad before in my life. So, yeah, it was just kind of a salvage race after that. I passed a couple guys, but the bet between Greg and Keaton McCallop was if I beat Keaton, then Keaton had to shave his head. If Keaton beat me, then Greg had to shave his head. And Keaton he finished directly in front of me. He almost got beat by me.
After the crash.
Yeah.
On your 125.
Yeah. Precisely.
Oh, I forgot. That was a new bike, too, wasn't it?
Brand new bike.
Is it trash now?
No, not at all. Huh? No, there's nothing broken on it.
Do you believe that, Mike?
Yeah,
I feel like he washed it and shout, and magically it was all fixed.
Practically, yeah. I meditated, and I made it go away.
Yeah.
Mother Nature did it.
I will say the riverfront course, when it's not a monsoon, is probably some of the most fun. It's like a motocross track in the woods. It's like Oakland times 100.
Yeah. Well, it's just there's parts of it where there's sand rollers that are the size of supercross loops.
Is it mostly sand, or is it all sand, or just a majority of
Depends
it?
on how it's churned up and where. And
Okay, the parts in the trees, it gets rough. Okay, it's like you never rode a Field of Dreams in Oklahoma. It's like it's black dirt with sand in it. So, and you haven't been to Oakland, but it's like just the
Anadarko?
No, that's red dirt. That's red sand. Yeah, but Anadarko was sick.
Yeah.
No, it's black dirt in the woods with some sand and a lot of, leaves and compost, dead trees, that kind of stuff.
just good dirt.
Yeah, the best dirt you can imagine. And then out in the open areas, sugar, like pure sugar. The sandiest sand you ever rode. And that stuff, dude, I mean, no joke, the gnarliest supercross swoops, this tall, but sand. And spaced out a little bit further. So you can like double, triple, get across the top of them. There's big old pitted bowls around trees and just...
There's jump sections that have naturally been made just by riding through there.
Yeah.
And we're talking
That
like
sounds-
jump faces that are like 4 feet tall that you can launch off of.
on my bike, your fourth gear, just going, duck, bump, bump, bump. But you're jumping 45, 50, 60 feet at a time over 2, 3, landing in the face of the next one, wheel tap, and then it sashes to the right, and then you jump into a bowl left and like back and forth
There's
and up and
zero
down.
rest.
Yeah, no, I mean I mean, there will be times where you're, no exaggeration, for 3.5 minutes standing up, going through rollers, like wheel tapping, tripling, doubling, that kind of just back and forth, fourth, fifth, sixth gear sometimes. And then you down click, got some more technical stuff, bang off of a sand wall, do it again, back and forth, and just like zig and zagging from one side of the course to the other. It is the ultimate test of timing and balance.
So I'm out.
No, dude, you haven't.
I'm just kidding.
That sounds sweet though.
Yeah, I mean it is true. It's off road riding, but it's a motocross track. In you can turn it into a motocross track, and so like whenever me and Nick, whenever we would go there, dude, huge advantage in that shit. That's how I did so well last year, because we go at a large. Some of the track was in the bigger wide open.
You can just
parts.
let it rip.
Dude, let it rip. And fucking like, I've talked about it a million times, but like my battle with Harrison. Dude, I fucking killed him in that shit. I mean, and he is a very, like motocross, he'd be back of the pack A, front of the pack B rider, and he's a pro woods rider. But dude, we murdered him just because those guys don't have the timing. That's all it is. They don't have that timing to be able to triple, double, wheel tap, that kind of stuff.
And that place when we first started going down there when it was open, we had some big hits.
Yeah.
Some big jumps. I ate shit there a few times trying some stuff.
And then Oakland is a miniature version of this. It's not quite as sandy.
Yeah.
We're back to Oakland.
Kevin,
Is
did you get to ride your cousin's track that he built out there?
track. Oh,
Ryan.
When did he build it though? Are you talking about the one that we went on road? The little moto track that he made back there, or is this a different one?
That has doubles and shit.
The
in
hidden
it?
track?
No, not the hidden track.
No, I've never. Did they take a skid loader out there and like build one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't been
How
out there
long
since
ago?
then.
I don't think you haven't been out there since then. No, this was only, I don't know, your dad called me one day.
Oh yeah, I was in Florida.
Oh, okay.
I was down at the goat farm.
I posted YouTube video of it.
Really?
Yeah, so
Need to check it
and
out.
it's I titled it like Moran's something. I don't know if I said Ryan or just Moran's course or something like that, but it's there's only 2 videos out there of Oakland. And then have you been out there since the sand pit is in the middle?
I've been out there since then, yeah.
Okay, so we have a track out there.
Like he built stuff with it?
No, but we've got a track over there that is fucking epic, dude.
Yeah. Did he built stuff though somewhere
he
else?
Did, yeah, he did build some jumps and some bowls and that kind of stuff. And dude, it's unbelievable.
If we got 2 skid loaders out there and a couple people, that place would be heaven.
And
It's already close.
It already is, dude. The new track that Ryan built out there is freaking A+.
I wish the weather was warm this weekend.
It's going to be a while before we can ride out there again.
Yeah.
But when we can.
It's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's still crazy how I live 15 minutes away from there, and I've only been there once.
Yeah.
It's some of the best practice you could do.
Yeah.
Minus jumps. I mean, there's a few jumps, but corner practice, rough practice,
And the technical stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Mike.
Why has no one at this table except Scott blessed me with their presence at my high-speed vintage motocross track at my home?
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Dude.
I never get invited.
Let me tell you why. Because T5, just like Chris Zeber's house, I get the invite the day of
Yep.
or 2 hours before I go to
Yep.
bed. And it's always Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning, Saturday, and I'm out of town. Shit like that.
I rode on a Sunday.
They're making excuses now.
It's the same reason I don't go to Oakland for any reason ever,
It's
actually.
the fucking stupidest thing. Dude, no, we post
Okay.
way in advance.
Right, exactly, and I just don't go.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Oakland it was worth it. It's worth checking out at least
Okay,
once.
springtime,
Yeah.
He's never been there?
a month in advance.
He
I'm going
refuses to do
to.
entries.
I'm going to make a practice day.
I'll be there.
I'll be there too.
Okay.
If I can ride, I'll be there.
Okay.
You'll be there.
I'd like to come out.
Yeah, I mean, if not,
I think
I'll just-
I saw
yeah,
a video
if
of
not-
it recently, and I was like, that looks
It's
fun.
very vintagey, but it's
Hey,
cool.
that's
So
some
is it like Carthage?
Kinda-ish.
I
Kinda.
haven't been to Carthage since he redid the track, but it's more
It
like
hasn't changed.
It's never changed.
it's like they don't have like the triple and stuff. Like last time I was at Carthage, it was like 05.
Same shit.
Same thing.
Oh,
It's
Well-
Carthagey.
Yeah. Sick. I'm on board then.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the most fun times I've had in Missouri riding was when Legends changed their track for a vintage race, and all the layout was the same. All the jumps were rolled.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Super fun.
Well, that's because most of the jumps were 12 feet long.
And super steep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide open and hit your brakes.
In a 5-mile straightaway.
Yeah.
Wonder whatever happened to Radical Rob.
I think that they just retired from doing the Cannon.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like just within the last couple of years, Michelle quit doing the Cannon.
Did they make bank doing that? Like, is there big money in that?
I wouldn't call it big money.
I don't feel like there's a lot of people that are just knocking down the door to be cannonballs in a giant cannonball or in a giant cannon. So I feel like it's kind of like a niche thing.
Yeah.
Did you know that the Cannon... Kevin, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
Do you even know what Legends is or Radical Robs or anything?
Can we just say real quick that Kevin is our first guest that has ever worn the Over the Bars podcast T-shirt to the podcast?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was going to wear it, but I wore it to the gym yesterday.
I
have two of them.
I don't
you for
even
not
have
wearing
one.
I actually wore mine to the gym.
I
yesterday,
wear
too.
that shirt all the time. I wore it to Hawaii. I wear it all the time.
Chris Thies wore his to Africa.
Well, he beat me.
That might be a win.
Yeah. That's
Speaking of Chris, whenever he starts racing again and coming around the public, he's going to be really fast because he rides every single day.
yeah.
I'm jealous.
I haven't seen him hit a bump though.
No, because he tills it every day. But Chris also has fabulous technique.
Absolutely.
Yes, he does.
Has that Shannon Ide technique.
Yes.
For sure.
Which I do too. Not quite as pointy as Chris does. But
What?
It's kind of my
Pointy?
foundation as
Yeah,
well.
I get it.
Has
I understand
everyone
that.
here been trained by Shannon?
I've never.
It's kind of where I started.
What about you? Me too.
No.
I've never been
No.
formally
I did,
trained.
hold on, you trained with Rusty though, didn't you?
I was getting
I
ready.
did one Rusty class.
That's as good. RSMXS is as good as what was Shannon's?
It's just Shannon Ide.
Just Ide.
No,
Ide.
he-
Night AMX.
He had before then he had a different
It was Gary Simmix. He trained for
GSMXS.
Gary's. Yes,
yeah, okay,
he trained
that's
for
right.
Gary
He was
Simmix.
GSMXS, instructed by Shannon Ide.
Did Rusty do the same stuff as Shannon?
Literally the same exact
Identical.
thing. Identical. Yeah.
Yep. All I remember is we went to Kingsville and we literally did ovals for an hour and then rode one jump that I didn't jump. Because at the time I did that, I was not jumping the big tabletop.
Yeah.
Do you guys do ovals at the goat farm or turn tracks or circles or anything?
Not for SX.
I mean, but in
I
general.
mean, we do not circles and ovals or whatever. We just work corners and like coming like staying low, and even riding like the flat part on the inside, making a line. So it's kind of like it's just a corner. It's not ovals or circles. Because the biggest thing I've learned so far is, so when I got there, I had a real bad habit of like slide my back brake in like bowls, because I mean like arena cross you almost had to do that sometimes to actually make the turn. So Ricky was always getting on me pretty hard about using my momentum through the corner instead of trying to brake and then gas, and that helped me a lot. Working on that, just other little stuff.
I
A
need
lot
to
of little
learn that.
technique.
I need to learn that.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I've
The
let
setup
go-
down there's
I
awesome.
fucking let go of learning anything on a dirt bike.
I just have fun.
I'm
Well,
not
you
gonna-
always comment on how I exit turns just whap, just like, you know.
I've let go of learning.
But I just need to. I just.
This is it.
If I don't know it by now, I'm not going to know it. Just done.
I mean, hey, when the bar's set low, Mike.
There's no disappointment.
Yeah, you're never disappointed. If I learn something in a day, if I learn something in a month, I succeeded.
As John
I have
Betts always said, lower your standards, up your average.
Yeah. Old John Betts.
Dude, his name on Facebook is John Bonjets Betts. And like, I can't tell you the number of times I've had that stuck in my head and thought of it. Just
You'll read it once, and it's there all day.
weeks.
How many friend requests do you think he's getting right now from the OTP viewers?
Hopefully all.
If you're on Facebook right
At
now,
least 12.
please add John Bonjets
Bonjets.
John Bonjets Betts.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's hard
there's
to
a
say.
hyphen in there too, I think.
I don't know. Maybe in between the Bond Jets.
I think it's Bond Jets.
I'm not
I
sure.
think
Does
there's
it
a
have
hyphen.
quotes? I don't even know.
No.
It's hard to say.
You know what's also? I always think his wife is posting his stuff because her name is Jen Betts, and he is John Betts.
Dude, brutal.
So it's I have to. Who's posting what?
And
Who
you
wrote
definitely, whenever you're sending dirty gifts to your buddies, you got to make sure that it's
what? To John.
and not Jen.
GIFs, GIF, not with a T. Not gifts.
Yeah, dirty gifts. Yeah, and I send all those to
You know, I
Kevin
thought you
Moreno.
were going to give Kevin an example of what to send as a GIF.
No.
I thought you
never
were
heard
gonna.
of
I
it?
thought you were gonna give an example of what you send
had to.
inside of a group chat, not what he's been sending.
I have one that is so vile.
Kevin keeps it PG.
We're ready.
Yeah.
He's just not. He's not old enough yet.
I'll show it to you guys later, but it is the worst thing ever.
I've seen some bad stuff in my in my Facebook messages.
When you live with John Bon Betts.
See?
God damn it!
Try saying that 3 times. Yeah. Okay. John Bon Jets Bets. John Bon Jets Bets. John Bon Jets Bets.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could
Woodchuck
chuck
could
wood?
chuck wood.
John Betts
Woodchuck
Jets
would chuck
wouldn't-
all the wood if woodchuck could chuck wood.
Ooh.
But that's not very good. I can't do this. Sally sells she shells by the
Sally
seashore.
sells seashells down by the shore.
I have a Carmichael question.
Seashore.
Carmichael,
Carmichael question.
the goat.
Training with Rick.
Hit me.
Okay. So I thought it was really cool. I'm just kind of a fanboy here. Mm-hmm. So he shared one of the announcing video, and then when I saw him in Daytona, like he recognized me, like he was like, "Hey, man." I don't know. I just thought that was really cool because I kind of felt like somebody was like, "Man, I'm sure he has a social media manager, but like, I didn't think he was actually going to know." But like then I got to hang out with him and talk to him and like announce with him a little bit. He's a super cool guy.
He's literally just a normal dude.
Yes!
It's actually really cool.
As a
Like,
trainer, is he a cool trainer? Like, or is he like, dude, I hate this? Do you like dread
No.
working with him?
I love working with him because he's like, I mean, obviously he's the GOAT, so it's cool, but he's got very good
Angle that
information.
mic up to me.
Yep, sorry. Obviously he's the GOAT, so it's cool, but no, he's very good with like technique. So that's kind of like the duo. So we work with Jeannie,
Okay.
which is his mom.
Yeah.
She's awesome. And like the whole thing down there, like the whole setup they have, I really like. So I can't wait to get back down there. But Jeannie's really big about stopwatch.
Okay.
So like getting times, beating your times, be consistent, stuff like that. And then when Ricky comes, it's all about technique and like how to do something a little bit better, like the stuff that I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So it's a very good duo.
So is
he's an awesome dude.
So do they train with like the Matt Walker, you suck, you piece of shit, go faster mentality?
No.
Or is it like more like motivating? Or is it a mix?
It's a mix. It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
I mean, he's hard on you when you consistently keep doing stuff wrong. Like
Okay.
if he tells you how to do something, and you keep your bad habits, but if you work on,
What's your worst
obviously-
habit?
It was when I first got down there, was slide my back brake in corners, and it was like
yeah, you
it
said
just
that.
kill my momentum, everything. So that's what we were working on the last month or so, and I finally got in a habit of not doing it, and it dropped my lap times a lot.
Now it's jumping off in the midair.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're working on. Next.
Dismount.
Nick Peterson, what's your worst dirt biking habit?
I ride my rear brake
Really?
everywhere.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm really bad about it, and I'm really good at knowing what I'm doing wrong. I'm just not good at
Executing.
executing doing it right. Like I tell myself in my head the whole time I'm riding, quit doing this, quit doing that, and I'll do it for a split second, and then it just goes right back.
Yeah.
You can hear your brakes all the way around the track.
No, I use OEM brake pads. They
Oh.
don't squeal.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
It's true,
but
they don't.
I'm really bad at that. I have a few really good techniques. I'm pretty good at a lot of things as far as my technique goes, but that's one thing I shouldn't be doing.
Coach, your worst habit.
Just going and riding. Does it like just going and riding and like enjoying it and not critiquing myself the entire time?
Oh, you
all
can't
the time?
enjoy. Like it's hard for you to enjoy yourself.
Sometimes,
right?
yeah, because I'm not going fast enough, or I'm not doing this right, or not doing that. Like just letting go and riding is probably. And it's not even, I guess, a habit,
Don't let
but
go.
that's something. Yeah, don't jump
don't
off.
let go.
Don't let go. That's probably one of them. Technique wise, I ride the clutch a lot.
You're a clutcher.
I ride the clutch way more than I should. It's because It's 450.
I clutch a lot too, but it's weird. I never really wear out a clutch.
Yeah, I don't feel like I don't feel like it's slowing me down by any means, but it's definitely not the right way. It's probably slowing me down at some point, but
You know what's kind of interesting is through the pro outdoors. So like through Shannon's deal and growing up working with a few different people, I was always taught to stay off your clutch through the corners. But in the pro outdoors, a lot of those factory dudes, you destroy their clutches in the corners.
Yeah.
And it gives them like a boost to come out of the corner or whatever, but they just rev that thing to the limiter and just drop it.
They do it in supercross too. How do you think a 450 can hit whoops in fifth gear? You know, they come out of the turn in third and they're clutching it, and then they shift up to fourth when they,
I mean,
two
I know,
shifts
yeah.
when they enter it.
I mean, for sure
And
for
you have to-
supercross, but like,
you have to feather it. But like, I know like Shannon will basically take your clutch off your bike.
yeah.
Colleen Millsaps will tell you need to use your clutch on the landings, the takeoffs, the whoops, the rollers, every section of the track.
I would take what Shannon says before calling Millsaps, because Colleen Millsaps has never rode a fucking dirt bike. And that's why I would never survive at a place like MTF.
Mic drop.
But but she does have lots of fast riders that have come from there too. So the way I look at it, I mean, they both have had championship caliber riders.
Let me ask you this, though. Does Colleen develop riders, or do talented riders go there and exercise their talents?
Well, yeah, that's a valid point.
Because she has a facility that's open 24, or not 24 hours, but,
Yeah.
6
Every
days
day.
a week. You know what I'm saying?
much,
Yeah.
So whenever you have the opportunity to ride all the time and you're in a structured environment, you're going to get better at riding your dirt bike. And if you don't, you're going to be like the kids that go home packing.
Yep.
But if you make it, does it matter?
How you get there?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. That's
we talked about this facility wise. I think we had a conversation. Hey, if you were going to a training facility, where would you go?
We did. Yeah.
And we were kind of, what you got Club MX, you got MTF, you got GPF, you've got the Goat Farm, you've got Underground's got their thing, you got Greg's thing down at HSBK, you've got Compound 77, you've got Walker's Place, you've got Club 57.
Yeah, you
MX.
could go.
There's a lot.
I mean,
of
we could just keep going.
There's so many different
And we were
people.
talking like, where would you go? What would you do? And you brought up a good point of, well, who's the last person that's come out of one of those to be a Supercross champion?
Yeah.
And I had a hard time thinking of that.
Yeah, who the last Supercross champion was that came from a training facility.
I think what it all boils down to is
Davey. I mean, that's the only, or Barsha. But
Barsha.
But did Davey win the forfeit? Davey never won
MTF
450.
wasn't around until Davey was in the pros.
Barsha's never won a 450 championship.
No.
Anderson was riding in the desert in New Mexico.
Who was the last?
I mean, the guys bounce around, but I'm saying
Tomac,
guys
I think,
that train there
was
all
trained
the time.
by
his dad.
Rhino.
More
A
or
little
less
while.
his
That was
dad.
in the pros,
Yeah, but he
though.
did Rhino. Yeah, he was on Geico. He was trained by Rhino.
But that was at his place.
Yeah.
No, he was in California. Because I have a video saved on my phone.
But there's no
It's like a
riders.
motivational video
But
of him talking about
There's
it.
no riders that are developed at a training facility that then become champions.
Yes.
Typically, they're rank and file, mid-pack, just journeyman career riders.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to what type of rider you are and what you respond to. Because everybody's different.
Villapoto did his own thing.
Lived in their motorhome
I
or
guess-
whatever.
I guess
Faulkner has never done any real formal training. He's kind of gone little places here and there. When he was younger, he never stayed anywhere. He went a bunch of different
'Cause he
places.
stayed in school,
Because I used to
right?
know. Because I took him a lot of
I don't know, I
places.
don't remember.
But then he didn't. He started staying at Raynard's. When he turned pro, because you've got to be there. I mean, you just can't live on the
guess
road. But
there really actually isn't an answer. The closest to it would be either Dungy with Shannon, because
Kennard.
Trey.
but Trey wasn't a 450 champion.
Oh.
True.
Yeah. And then McGrath with Simmons.
Well,
But Simmons-
Barsha did Simics too, and he
I think everyone did Simics.
because
Simics was a traveling guy, trained everywhere. He didn't have a facility that I know of.
It was when he was winning some 250 races, and I don't know the whole story, but he was winning 250 races, and he thanked Gary Simics on the podium or in some interview, and he was still allegedly staying with MTF, and so MTF kicked him out.
Who was this?
Barsha.
I thought it was Gary Bailey, maybe.
Bailey.
But okay, I mean, even
Bailey.
that, okay.
Yeah.
So those guys went to facilities at the pro level, or they built their own facilities, which is different than your 85 rider that is now living full time at MTF
Tanner
or whatever.
Well, Barsha was at MTF
yeah.
when he was on 85s.
Not a 450 champion. So we can establish there's never been a 450 champion to come from a training facility.
A full-time facility.
I don't think there's any question here. If you don't go to Innovative MX, brought to you by Scott Gepkin, I don't think you're going anywhere.
I think it all boils down to what kind of rider you are and how each trainer could help you personally. Because like for me, I can take almost any type of training and use it to my benefit. But like I remember at like Camp Boom Diggity, I was talking to Austin about a couple different sections, and he had gone to Colleen, and he was like, I cannot stand her. Like, I cannot ride with her.
Yeah.
It's about
But
your,
I
it's your
can,
relationship.
when she, if I come up after I hit a corner and she smacks my helmet
You like
and
being
says,
yelled at, though.
it doesn't matter to me. Like, I can be calm, or I can be talked to calm, yelled at. Like, I don't take it
take
with
criticism
offense. Yeah,
well.
like I take criticism well.
So that's a big part of like what I feel with riders that I work with is like, hey, work with whoever you want, train wherever you want. Just find somebody that gets the information to your rider or to you or whatever, because that's what it's about. It's being able to develop that where you have that conversation and it's a comfortable, okay, he's getting on to me because I need to go faster because I can do this. But if he says I can do it, then I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And having that, and it's just, and I think going to a facility is not a bad thing either, because it gives you the opportunity to work on what you need over and over and over. And I think especially once you get to that point where you're ready for that, I think you just have to be selective in where you go or what you do, based on what your relationship's going to be and how the programs run off the bike.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to a training facility, I think the off the bike stuff is more important than it is on the riding stuff. And I don't mean by gym work or whatever. I mean by off the bike, especially for kids, structure and things like that happen off the bike. So say the kid's homeschooled or whatever, that has to be in the forefront of the riding, because your riding goes for 4 or 5 hours a day. How many hours a day are you guys riding?
I mean, so
and yours is
you
a little
wanna know my
different
schedule,
program.
kind of my daily schedule.
Sure.
Okay, so what we usually do is wake up around 8, make breakfast, start riding around 9.
You wake up at 8.
7:38. Yeah.
Wow.
Life's good.
Well, I live at the facility, so it's not like I have to get up and drive.
I understand that.
Do you live in the goat barn with the goats?
No. But anyway, so we start riding around 9ish. So we do 3 sessions, sometimes 4 sessions a day. So I have a session, come back, take a break, have a session, so on and so forth. So we end up stopping right. We ride from 9 to probably 1-ish, 2-ish every day, depending on how long of a day it is and everything like that. And then, so I live at the facility, and my gym is in Tallahassee, Momentum Fitness. That's about a 40-minute drive. So right after I get done, I go back, I shower, put on gym clothes, and then drive 40 minutes to the gym and work out from probably 3 or 4 until about 5 or 6, and then usually stop by Chipotle and then drive home and take a shower, cook dinner a little bit later at night, and go to bed, wake up, do it again. So it's a pretty busy day.
Life's good.
It was so awesome. I mean, obviously it's unfortunate this happened, but I can't wait to get back down there because I've seen a lot of results.
Let me ask you this. Whenever do you have to pay in advance for a year membership or something down there?
I mean, you can kind of do it whichever way you need, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, you can do it monthly or by year.
Did you do an annual or a by-month thing?
I had a couple people, the team, and had some people kind of handle that for me. So I'm not really sure. Yeah.
Life
You
is
just show up
good.
and you just live there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but okay, and just like you're saying, I mean, so what you've just said is there's a lot of downtime, and I'm including gym work in your downtime. Okay. So
Besides riding, I mean,
yes,
yeah,
off the
I
bike
guess,
time.
yeah.
And so I think, and for pro level, it's a completely different deal. You're an adult, you make your own decisions. You know what I mean? For you, example, or for who's the new pro who's somebody that just turned pro this year? Who's
Me again.
no,
Like Brandon's first one I think of. Or like
no. I'm talking
like
like pro
pro?
supercross pro. Who's riding their first supercross this year?
is
Who's
it
the
Mitchell
KTM's
Falk?
guys?
Mitchell Falk?
Mitchell Falk. So he's 16. I'm giving ages. I'm just guessing
He's
here.
definitely not
So,
16.
However
okay,
old he is.
18.
Yeah,
Whatever.
okay,
He's your
anyway,
age.
yes,
He's just
go
like
on.
you. Okay. So you guys are old enough to make your decision. What I'm referencing is amateur riders.
Like 80 riders.
Your 85s, your 50s, your 50s or your 60s, which is pretty crazy to be at a facility. Your 85s, your B riders, whatever, that are 14, 15. You know what I mean? I think it's so important to have the off the bike structure.
I think the word you're trying to say here, Scott, is discipline.
The discipline, yeah, on the off the bike discipline is exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
and
that
it
way you're
needs,
not just making shitty decisions.
right, and you have no structure. You go to bed at 2 a.m. You get up and you ride or whatever. You're not doing your workouts, things like that. I think that's the most valuable part of being in a facility, or at least the most part that needs to be looked at by a parent who's sending their kid there, if that makes sense.
So I'll tell you who we're talking about, guys that haven't found a training facility that they click with. Dude, Dawson Cobb, have you watched his videos on Instagram about how you don't follow him on Instagram?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything that I can think of.
Nick?
Yeah, I've watched him.
Dude, they're pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, he's
Dawson's-
riding good down
dude,
there.
His raw speed is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, sure, a lot of the corners that he's riding through are like perfectly
They're
manicured.
made for that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But aside from that, he's riding far better than I've ever seen him ride.
Yes,
For
I
sure.
agree. I think the problem with Dawson is he just needed to get away from the distractions.
Yeah.
Dawson is one of those who needed the discipline.
Yep.
Because he had talent from the get-go. I yelled at him a long time ago. I said, dude, if you just get your ass in gear and got your shit together, you'd be better than me. You'd be really good.
Which isn't really that hard to do.
Well, no, it's not. But at the time, he wasn't better than me. So I'm like, dude, you could be really good if you just, like, you have the world in front of you. You have a silver spoon feeding you everything you need to be successful. And you need to take advantage of it while you can.
I'll tell you who was like that. Drew Henrick.
Yep.
Drew was one of the most talented riders I've ever seen on a dirt bike, ever. And don't do that to the mic. What you just did to it? I don't know what I did. You went like this, like you rubbed it with your thumb, and it came through loud and clear.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I know. Anyway,
Way to go, Nick.
yeah, don't do that. Drew, I mean, to the tits with talent. But
And they had the funding. They had everything they needed.
dude, they had more money than they knew what to do with.
Yep.
And I coached him when or not supposed to say coach, but I was his mechanic, man friend, whenever he was living at GPF for a season. And you want to talk about somebody that just
Fucked off.
dude, I mean, entirely just played his guitar, like wanted to go into town and fuck around. And I'm like, dude, there was one day, dude, we were riding on the arena cross track, and Kyle Brown, who's some random A rider from Wisconsin, who doesn't have business going faster than Drew, was murdering Drew on the arena cross track. And Drew pulled off the track, and he's like, dude, I feel really good. I was like, Drew, I'll be honest with you. You're riding like fucking shit. And he's like, what do you mean? And then I brought it all down on him about how he was like, dude, you have every opportunity to go fast here. But instead you want to go, like Scott said, go to bed at 2:00, wake up whenever it's convenient, not have anything ready. And then whenever everybody else is already pounded out the gym and they're going to the track, you're just getting out of bed and opening up the garage door and expecting everything to be ready and just ready to roll, but you only want to ride for 3 laps at a time.
Yep.
He was one of those guys.
Yeah, and see, the problem is with guys who have a lot of talent and have everything given to them, they don't value it. They don't think they need to work for it.
Yeah.
So, it just, when I see people like that, it bums me out because
it's
I
almost
wish
as
I
if-
had those things.
It's such a double-edged sword because you can't make it in motocross without money. But the odds of you having and I don't like this word because of the way that Moto Playground has copped it, if you don't have the grit, you're also not going to make it. But the truth of the matter is, the odds of having money and grit together are slim to none.
Very slim.
So
it's rare.
And that's why motocross champions are so rare.
Yep.
That's why the same guy wins the title 4 years in a row or whatever.
Yeah, longer, however long that.
How long did Carmichael? How many? 10?
Yeah,
Forever.
forever.
Once he started winning, he started winning them all.
There's
Yeah.
a lot. There's a lot at the farm.
He has so many trophies that are buried in dust.
Literally.
I know, I've seen pictures. But for me, around here, I've always felt like if I could go somewhere where there's a lot of riders that are really good, that would benefit me the most. Not even just having a trainer.
That would benefit anybody. Though.
Yeah, because around here, for the last few years, there's a few riders that are my speed or better. But I don't have the opportunity to ride with them. Jeff, Scott, Chris, Kevin, we're never in the same place. So it's like you're riding by yourself. It's like, man. And then when I go to these big races and it's like Talladega Nights when, he gets back in the cars. It's like, are those the other cars or why are they going so fast? I feel good, but they're flying by me.
Before Adrian moved to Oklahoma, it felt like that was the golden, 6 months.
Yeah, because everybody was riding.
Yep. He was like the glue, totally coincidentally, he was the glue that bonded all of us together and riding together.
Yeah, because I remember there was one day we went to his track, and it was me, you, Cody Clark, Chris Thies, Robbie Mazza. There was a few other people, I think, and there was a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, there was 7 A riders there.
Yeah.
And we were hauling that day.
So it just doesn't happen anymore. Now that there's so little places to ride.
Or whenever there are places to ride, you only get 3 hours notice.
Yes. Yes.
Adrian always did that to me.
I told you I will give you a month.
Hey, how about you pick a date today?
Right now,
Do it.
March 12th.
Oh, that's not going to work for me.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
So I think it just, when it comes that way. So if you could go somewhere, Jeff, where would you go?
Jeff doesn't want to go anywhere where he's going to be told how to do something.
Yeah, that's part of the
Well,
problem.
and there's other places. There's places that allow that. I mean,
It's not going to do you any good.
no, I would.
I don't know.
See, I have the
I disagree
ability,
with that.
I have the ability to have someone critique me, actually, when it comes to motocross. Anything else, I'm like, no, you fucking are not going to.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes to moto, obviously, I've had a lifelong relationship with Shannon. I would, dude, oh my God, would I love to go stay with Shannon for a week. Again, at 30.
Did you feel like you were 13 again?
Yes, and just get the experience of doing the riding and the bike work and the hanging out, the full circle type shit. I'd also like to go to Robbie Smith's because, the thing is Robbie, I think I might have beat Robbie one time, but he was one of those guys that at the time that he was racing and I was racing, I never beat him. He was unbeatable. So
660.
Even though if me and Robbie lined up today, it'd be a pretty obvious, I would think, just out of him not riding and him having bad knees, I think it would be a pretty obvious choice who would win. Now, we've never done that though. So in my eyes, I still hold Robbie's still up on the pedestal to me as the guy that I could never beat.
Yes.
So as him having his training facility with his operation and the phenomenal dirt, that
His
would be,
place looks good.
It's fun to ride.
Is it?
Yeah.
It looks
and
good.
he's an awesome dude. So
yeah, that would be a lot of fun for me.
I don't know if I've ever met him in person. Maybe once. Maybe seen him ride a couple times. But I am in contact with him just a little bit on Facebook, just because we have mutual interest, obviously. So
Yeah.
he's got some good stuff going. I think he's building some.
Other than
buildings.
that, club.
I think club would be
Yeah.
cool.
I would have a hard time. It would be so. I mean, I'm just imagining. Okay, if it was me today at 30, and if someone, gun to my head, you have to go to a motocross training facility. Fuck, it would be hard. It would
I
be
couldn't
so
pick.
But
I
at
don't
30, are you going to a training facility to be instructed, or are you going, like for me, at almost 30, I would go to a training facility based off of the track and what other riders are there, not based off of necessarily the trainer. I mean, obviously, no matter what type of rider you are, you're going to get a benefit from someone saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. My problem is and I'm not one to stick my nose in other people's business, but I'm very perceptive, and I couldn't deal with like the little entitled shits, like those types would ruin it for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and so like it would have to be a good combination. Actually, maybe Matt Walker would be a good choice.
I went down there with Benny for about a month, and it was when his place was really just starting to grow.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. A lot of people don't like Matt, and a lot of people have, I've heard a lot of people say negative things about him, but, I think that he does a really good job the way he coaches people, because the videos that you see him post online are not always, that's not what he's like all the time. He's a good coach.
He's not fire and brimstone day in and day out.
Right, yeah. He knows how to teach someone how to do good, and that's why you see a lot of fast amateur kids coming at his place. Now, they're mostly, small bike riders now, so it's not like you're seeing big-time pros coming out yet because his place is relatively new, but, he's got some good little riders that he's molded.
The hard part about a facility, and you're already a victim of it, is that you're pushing it to the limits almost every day, all day, or just like Brandon could tell you this about at Walker's, or just really anywhere. You could relate it to any facility, is that you're going against 5 other kids that are the exact same speed as you, or faster, or just a little slower, or whatever.
It's a competition at all
every
times.
single day you're on the bike, it's a competition, and that's where the risk is elevated. So your chances of a get off and getting hurt are much higher than they are if you're not doing that.
But when you're 18, 19, and you're trying to become a good dirt bike rider and you don't have any bills, now when I go ride, that's in my mind. I can't get hurt. Yep. But when I was 18, I didn't even think about getting hurt. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Do you have fun days? Like, are there days that you guys just go out and ride, like
Oakland?
No, not really.
Not
when
we go to
Anytime I go to bar to bar.
Oh, you're talking to him?
Yeah. The only day that I have off is probably Sunday. Every other day, it's either because we ride Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, off weekends. Sorry, did you hear that? Was it close enough?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Monday, Tuesday riding, gym, don't have any time. Plus school, and it's just completely packed. And then Wednesday we have off, but we do cycling on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then that's usually when I do my school. And then Thursday, Friday, same situation as Monday, Tuesday. Saturday, gym or cycle. And then Sunday is usually your day off.
So there's no hey, let's go ride at your version of Oakland.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're working. You're there to work.
Yeah.
You don't come in here and have
That's
fun days,
not
do you?
earned free days yet.
Are you allowed?
We have the freedom, but
so
at the
on
same
Sunday
time,
on your day off, if you wanted to go ride your dirt bike in the hills, you could go do that.
Yeah, probably. Okay. There's nobody to tell you no, but they'd probably tell you, that's probably not a great idea.
Okay.
Especially when you have supercross suspension on. So, but like kind of what you guys were saying about being at a training facility, it's got its ups and downs. Like you said, for me in my situation, I've seen so much improvement because I've never ever had a program. I've always driven around, lived the privateer life. So to finally have an opportunity to have an off-the-bike program, which I've never had. I always went to the gym and I was good about doing my stuff, but it was all out of what I thought I needed to be doing.
You don't know unless you have someone who
exactly
knows.
So now that I was actually on a program where I had a physical trainer, I had a trainer for on the bike stuff. I was riding 4 or 5 days out of the week. I was eating right. I was working out every day. I was tracking my heart rate every day, tracking calories, and everything I was doing was what I needed to be doing, and I saw so much improvement over the last month and a half, 2 months before this happened. And obviously it's unfortunate that it did happen, but that's why I just can't wait to get back. I'm going back down after Christmas is the plan. And
I think Mikey has something to say.
Hit me.
I do.
Hit me.
I do. This is for everyone at the table.
Okay.
Is this a hot topic?
Sure, we'll make it a hot topic.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Everybody talks about eating right. Like, I'm eating right now.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell does that mean? Because everybody, like for you at the goat farm, what does eating right mean?
Eating right is just like not eating like donuts and stuff. Like honestly, the thing that I've learned the most is ingredients that go into foods and stuff. Like say you get, I mean, it's kind of hard to give an example. Biggest thing is just to be eating what you need to be eating. So instead of snacking on Cheez-Its and stuff, you snack on like almonds and nuts and little stuff like that. And
So you're on the road. Do you ever stop somewhere like a fast food restaurant?
Yeah, but you just get like grilled chicken or like the best thing. It's just making the right choices. It's not like completely changing your diet. I already ate pretty well, and I don't drink pop. I'm just not a pop person or anything like that. So my diet was already pretty good. So it's just minor changes, but it's
But
not.
like you're limited like on your calories and stuff?
It's
Kind of. I mean, I don't really track it as much. He just gave me like a goal that I need to be at on days that I'm riding and a goal I need to be at on days that are off days where we just have cycles and stuff.
Let me tell you something. There are a lot of guys that have been champions and a lot of guys that have been top riders that do not eat that phenomenally. Like they eat like normal people. The difference is they're not eating anything with corn syrup or sugar or preservatives in it.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. And beyond that, portion control.
Yeah.
Really, portion control is the hardest thing to reassign your brain on.
Yep.
And then sugar, and then getting away from preservatives and things like that.
It's the,
So, like,
the
with the-
biggest thing is the ingredients that go into stuff.
So, like,
you
with
just got to
Dun-
read what you're eating.
Would Dungy eat at Chick-fil-A?
Now he would.
Maybe.
so here's
Maybe.
the deal. You eat for fuel. Okay.
Okay.
You build a fully built motor. You're not going to run 87 Casey's octane in it and run it.
That's the
because
that's
it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
That is
you
the
eat
example.
for fuel. Everything you put in your body needs to be treated as its fuel, especially if you're an athlete and you're performing at a professional level or you're trying to whatever level it
Yeah,
is
but
that
we
you're
all
at.
know like VP whatever 110 is the fuel to run. In a bike, what is the fuel?
So that's where you have to have a coach or a dietitian, and you find what meets your body's needs the best. And you have to play with different things. You try this, you try that. Hey, do the keto diet, or hey, do this or do that. There's there's a million different answers you could pick and choose from. You have to figure out what works best for your body and what fuels you the most. What fuels you for what you're doing.
And and this is something that's really hard for a lot of people to understand is they think, oh, I have to eat rice and chicken and vegetables and this and that, and this is my diet because this is what healthy people do. But like, even though Scott and I have pretty similar body types, we're the same height, around the same weight, have very similar bone structure, the whole deal. However, his diet may call for more chicken, whereas mine might call for more red meat. He might get better long-term what am I trying to say? Like long burn calories, like for extended
Aerobic and anaerobic differences.
Okay, so
or
like
whatever.
yeah, a good anaerobic. So think of like really high heart rate, 30-minute moto type stuff. Okay, so he might burn better for a 30-minute moto off of rice. I might burn better for a 30-minute moto off of pasta. But there's only one way to figure that out, and that's through trial and error. After doing blood tests and figuring out exactly, number one, what your body can take, and number two, what your body needs. Okay.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. So also, it's a good idea to get an allergen test done because a lot of people may be having slight allergic reactions to foods without even knowing it. And the number one thing, okay, people think of like their stomach as the utensil that, that's like the motor, but or their heart as their motor. But the truth is, your motor is your first chain within your digestive system, which is the large intestine. That's the one that sucks all the nutrients. Your stomach is the one that has the acid in it. That's the thing that breaks down the food, and then it goes into the next chain, which is the large intestine. The large intestine is where all of the nutrients are absorbed. If your large intestine isn't working to tip-top shape, the motor, then you're not going to have good output of performance, like Scott, analogized as that. So my lower intestine may not accept glutinous foods, whereas Scott's might, or vice versa, whatever it is. And like there are some people where like eating steamed kale will help them better than like a juiced kale or something like that. It's literally different from every person. It's a complex process.
So
And
there's no like goat farm pro moto diet. Like if you go to the goat farm, everybody gets 1,500 calories a day, and you're all eating chicken and fish, and that's it.
If they ate 1,500 calories a day at the goat farm, they would die.
Yeah.
They're burning
Mine's
every bit of
mine's in the threes, but
Okay,
it's not like I track my calories every day. One, you listen to your body. Like if you're hungry, I've never been one to eat 3 meals a day. I eat like 5 or 6. Like I just eat a little bit here, like when I'm hungry. But at the same time, it's just like what he said. It's just little stuff that you feel. I've never had the test done. I want to, but I just never have. But it's just trying to make better choices.
So picture this. You're at the grocery store and you're shopping. All right. The foods that are going to provide your body the way your body is designed, for naturally God-given or evolution, whichever one you want to pick today. Virtual reality.
That's what I was going to say.
whatever your simulation body needs.
So think of it this way. The way you're going to fuel your body the best is if you go shop at the store and you go around the outside perimeter of the store.
And no
That's
end
what I've heard
caps.
too.
Almost no end caps.
Yeah, and do not stay out of that middle section. That
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all the cleanest food.
Every single grocery store that you'll ever go to, the foods that you want to eat are against the walls. Everything that's in the middle is processed and packaged. You ever thought about that? How everything in the middle is in a package, whereas everything
Or
on the
can.
outside, deli, dairy, produce, so on and so forth, except for the bakery. The bakery is typically on the outside also. You must stick away from that.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. Everything you want to eat is on the outside
That's
of the store.
exactly what my trainer told me.
So
when I got
that's
down
what's
there.
considered clean eating or natural or whatever, and that's what your body breaks down the easiest and can use as fuel better or more efficient than anything else. Now, you still have your calorie intake and how much is this and how much is that, and that all just depends on how your body reacts. Yours is going to be different than mine, and mine's going to be different from Kevin, and as you get older, it changes again. And so it depends on how much muscle you have on your body, how many calories you burn naturally sitting, things like that. And so the biggest thing that like athletes or motocross riders will look at while they're training full scale system is, you're a high calorie intake because you're burning a whole lot of calories while you're doing it. And the thing is you don't want to just go get things to get calories. You don't want to go eat a giant bowl of cereal just because, I need another 500 calories or whatever, because all you're doing is packing in a whole bunch of sugar. You want to go get proteins or some kind of, I want to say carb or whatever, a rice, something like that is what you want to use in that scenario to get your calories, because that's what would be something called like clean eating. But then again, you have people that do keto diets and all they eat is whatever the hell's on the keto diet. But
caveman diet. Even,
but the biggest thing you have to is focus on is making sure you are getting enough calories compared to what you're burning. This is as a professional athlete. Now, if you're trying to lose weight or whatever, that's a completely different. That's a calories in versus calories out type of thing. But focusing on your hydration and making sure that you're getting enough calories for what you're doing. Because in motocross, if you're not consuming enough, that means you're going to basically what I would call, like in the road bike world, would be like you'd bonk. You'd run out of calories. You would run out of fuel. And that's why you notice yourself getting tired or whatever.
That's when you get sick.
That's when you can get sick or whatever. If you're
do it
getting
prolonged.
dehydrated, that's when you start cramping, things like that.
So typically what you do, like let's just say you're 18 and you're really good at motocross and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the next level. Typically you hire a trainer, a nutritionist. They're going to have you do a blood panel. They're going to see what you are deficient in. So if you're deficient in any vitamins or anything like that, and then they're going to adjust your diet. But basically, like, you just eat something with the least amount of ingredients and things are typically the best, or, the ingredients that you can read. If you can't pronounce them, if there's a long list of ingredients and there's a lot of stuff you can't pronounce.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Jeff pronounced them really well.
Yeah.
He nailed it.
But I just want to add that no, hold on. So it's dihydrogen monoxide is in everything that you eat.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Dihydrogen monoxide,
Sounds like diesel fuel.
but you have is the thing. It doesn't say it on the can. Okay.
Okay,
Now
that's what I
I'm
was wondering.
intentionally using a deceptive tactic. Okay, by giving you the literal scientific way to pronounce 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Di, 2, hydrogen, that means 2 parts hydrogen. Mono, 1 oxide, aka oxygen. Okay, so that's water. So there are times whenever food manufacturers have to label, like
Well, it's just like this can. It's like the vitamins. They're giving the actual name.
Yeah, the scientific name of vitamin B6. So there are times whenever you have to, it's like you essentially have to have a science degree to be able to read some
You have to
things.
understand it.
But by and large, spices, if it has, anything other than salt, paprika, onion, herb, not flavor, but spice, that kind of stuff, stay away from it.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want most preservatives. Like salt is a preservative. You don't want, like, if you're eating or drinking, like if you're eating lunch meat and it's got like 600 milligrams of sodium per serving, you probably want to stay away from that amount, depending on, for most diets, I would assume. But
so while we're talking about this, Nick and I learned something doing the outdoor nationals this year that blew our fucking minds.
it's, just like the eating thing, it's not as crazy as you would think. You just want to consume, and I'm going to say this before Jeff says this, because you're going to think, no, you don't do that. But you just want clean food. You want fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Breads are fine. You just don't want highly bleached bread.
Yeah.
You don't want you just want clean stuff. You don't want something with 30 or 40 different ingredients in it. In portions for you, like what Scott said, you got to figure out what is right for you and how much effort you're putting out. I listened to some podcasts, and they suggest the coach suggested eat every 2 hours, from when you wake up to right before you go to bed. And I found I did that, and it helped quite a bit with my energy levels.
And see, here's the thing, is like for Nick, that works great. For me, that overloads my digestive system. So for me, my best operating system is to fast from dinner to lunch. So all I drink is water and coffee. But
that's what I've been doing lately.
And
so you don't eat breakfast?
A lot of times I don't. No, I won't eat until 12 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah, and what it does is it boosts your, and this is something that I found with age. You don't need to do this.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely not for another 10, 15 years. But like at 30, I found that if I don't eat breakfast, it boosts my metabolism, and it helps my body burn the food that I'm eating faster. Instead of it storing it, it helps it burn it. And it's kind of like, it's like a minor version of getting to your body in ketosis, which Nick's tried and feels great. It doesn't work for motocross.
Well, here's the thing is in basically what you're doing is you're getting your body to burn fat.
Right, yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm the last 3-4 days I've been fasting until 2 o'clock every day. I'll eat dinner, and then I won't eat again till 2 o'clock. It's not sustainable if you're an athlete. But for me, I'm testing it out because I just got married. I went on a honeymoon. I gained a pretty good amount of body fat. Over the summer when I was training, I was about 175. I'm 193 now.
So you have a 14-hour fasting period.
Correct.
Yeah.
And all I have is coffee and water. And I go to the gym. I've been going to the gym the last couple of days to do kind of a fasted cardio, like a low intensity. But see, it's just like the keto diet. It is not sustainable. You can't do it for long before your body just feels depleted. I'm doing it for a short period of time to get my body to burn the excess body fat that I have acquired.
Which the actual correct term is called intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting, yes, because
So what I was gonna talk about was, did we see it at Tennessee or South Lake? I can't remember where we were. Pull off of the track, and after Moto 1.
No, he just told us.
Oh, anyway. Guys are pulling off of the track, and as soon as they get back to the truck, cracking open an ice-cold Mountain Dew
Yep.
or any other kind of just
That was
Jeremy Hand, right?
Jeremy Hand.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a big thing professional cyclists do.
Yes.
You'll
Yeah.
see guys in the Tour de France
Marathon.
drinking Coke, whatever, in their package.
It's-
It's to get the sugar and things back in your system as fast as you can, especially if you're in the middle of a 110-mile bike ride for the 15th day in a
It's
row.
because your body can only store when you're above a certain heart rate. Now, every person is a little bit different, but for the average individual who's not an athlete, who hasn't done a heart rate test, you would basically take 180, subtract your age, and then at that heart rate, anything below that heart rate, you're using fat as a fuel source. Anything above that heart rate, you're using sugar as a fuel source. So when you're let's just say you ever go out whenever you ride for a really long time, and then when you cramp up or you feel really exhausted, it's because you've exerted all of your stored glycogen, which is the sugar, because you only have, I think it's 90 minutes of stored glycogen.
it varies.
Yeah.
So when you get off the track, that's the best time to have simple sugar. So like a Coke or a candy, because you need to replenish that right away.
Full disclosure, none of us are dietitians or anything like
Yeah.
this. This is just from our own experience.
Yes.
But go ahead. You want to go?
We've got professionals listening. God, these fucking idiots.
I was just okay. So this monster is not bad for you. It's bad for you, but
It's not the best choice. Yeah. I'll put it that much. Now, this monster right here, of all the energy drinks, this is the least evil. Maybe except for Scott's got some.
but if you're a pro rider, it's still evil.
You're not going to be drinking these every day because you have no reason to. No. I drink these because I hit a fucking 2:00 wall, and
Okay.
I've developed. It's habitual. It's
Yeah.
habitual. I drink these things because it's habitual. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like a tip I picked up, like with the pro outdoors, obviously you have a 30+2. You have like 45 minutes to an hour, and then you have another 30+2.
Oh, way to brag about being in the motos.
Okay. He's been one.
I raced one moto, and I don't even feel it counts. I don't even ever say
Okay,
it.
well,
You're
what
in
I was
the
going to
record
say,
books.
wasn't trying to say
I
anything
got
like that.
a congratulatory note in the mail the other day. I was like,
Hey,
why
that's
just
better than
rub
a
it-
torn fucking rotator cuff.
That is, yeah, that's true.
And everything else.
Yeah, and everything else in your shoulder.
So anyway, I wasn't trying to be a dick, so I'm sorry.
No,
But-
by all means, we've been
but
taking
like-
cheap shots at you all night.
And we're
But
not
like,
done yet.
Benny, something I kind of picked up from Benny is he said that in between his motos, like you said, simple sugars, whatever, Smarties.
Yep.
Like I'd throw down like 3 or 4 packs of little rolls of Smarties and get some a drink hydration fuel with it, the Rhino Power, and then try to eat something and then just get ready for the next moto. And
Yep.
it seemed to help when I started trying
In
that.
the-
I wouldn't recommend that if you're doing like local races and you have short motos, but for something like 30+2 and then another
you're
30+2.
depleting your glycogen. But
Yeah.
like for moto, the biggest, especially pro, where you've got back-to-back races, the biggest thing is recovery, and that's where a good diet is going to come into play, and that's where you see guys doing performance-enhancing drugs to help them recover, because that's the
Performance-enhancing drugs don't enhance performance.
They enhance recovery.
Yeah,
You're correct.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they use like HGH helps your body heal or whatever, recover faster. So like if you can get off, it's like a guy like me who I probably never trained the way I should or could, versus like Anderson or Tomac. You see them get off a 30-minute moto and they're not even breathing hard. It's
Are you saying they're on the juice?
they could be, but their
I
diet.
actually kinda got a question.
The way they eat, spot on. Everything they do is monitored, so they know, where they're at, and that way they have the optimum recovery to be able to go do it again.
And I remember when we were riding with Trey all the time, he had a scale, and after motos, he would get on the scale, take off his boots and whatnot, get on the scale, and see where his body weight difference was.
Hydration.
To see his hydration levels, to how much he had lost or not lost, or if he's right where he needs to be. And a lot of athletes in general will do that kind
I've
of thing
done that
during
a
the
little
summer
bit.
months.
I've
How
done
mu-
that a little bit this year. Not
How
a
much
lot,
would he
but
lose in a moto? Or like in a day's worth of riding?
It varies a
In
lot.
Yeah, it
In
depends
a
on-
day, probably a solid 6 to 10 pounds of water weight.
Wow.
If heat, temperature, all that type of riding, all that
yeah,
comes into
we're
play.
talking an Oklahoma summer day. By
Pounding
all means,
motos?
6 to 10.
Wow.
So like the podcast that I listen to, the trainer, he has what's called as a sweat rate calculator. So it's a PDF file or whatever the deal is, and you type in. It's very simple, but it has an algorithm that it's already built in. So you type in, the temperature, your weight before your workout, your the ounces that you have consumed of water during your workout, the weight after workout, and then so what that tells you is whether you're overhydrated or underhydrated or dehydrated. So if you're, let's just say you weigh 185 pounds before your workout and you weigh 184 pounds or 182 pounds after your workout, well, you probably didn't drink enough water. And if you weigh more, then you drink too much water during a workout. So,
yeah, that's a big thing down at the farm is hydration and everything. And like kind of what he was saying, talking about body fat. And there's just so many little things that you can do to help your program that I never had done. And so like one thing is body fat. As soon as I got down there, we took that test to see what my body fat was. And then
was it 80% cock, 20% body?
Ooh.
But anyway, and
is that gay?
Just a little bit. But and that's when you just kind of experiment with your foods and how you feel during the day.
What else
and
are you experimenting with? Down
It
at
is the
farm.
goat
Oh
farm
my goodness.
in Georgia.
And so you test that stuff and your energy and what you eat. It all goes together. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I see what you're saying. Cheap shot.
Listen, you're setting yourself up
I know,
for all
I
these
know.
gay jokes. Man.
What are you doing? You reading our comments? Dang, we've gotten a lot.
It's just a kid.
They're a bit
I'm a
loaded.
man. Come after me.
What?
No, nothing. It's a sports center thing. You're looking at me like I'm a crazy person.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You ever heard like playoffs? We talking about playoffs? No, nothing. Nobody.
You
Okay,
mean
never
practice? You want to talk about
mind.
practice?
That's another one. Yeah.
You want to talk about practice for the game I love?
Mitch says he would like to ride it.
207?
207
in
would be
Maine.
cool.
That'd be a safe place to
That'd be
ride.
cool.
You know what I would really like to go back to.
Motorland?
Well, no. I've never been to Moto.
The one you guys rode at between Southwick?
What's it called? In New Hampshire. Is it New Hampshire?
Sandbox.
Sandbox? I was thinking Sandbox, but I know there's one in Florida.
Have any of you ever rode like Sandbox Arena or any of the
a
indoor
long
ones?
time ago.
I never went
Was it
there.
cool? Was it neat or no? Just whatever indoor dirt bike track, pit bike
Nitro
track.
Arena Cross times 3.
It's just bigger.
It's just bigger.
Hey,
not
speaking of-
the jumps wise, but just longer.
Speaking of Nitro, I'm going to do the Topeka Arena Cross on Saturday.
Really?
Went
Not
how?
me.
Oh, next Saturday.
Heck yeah.
No,
man.
no. Not next Saturday. It's the Saturday after Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there too.
I'm going
Are you
to...
gonna ride?
I wish. But no, I'm just going to be there, kind of help promote. I want to kind of be
Hanging
like an announcer, like be a part of the program.
You better get an agent for that.
Mikey G.
Are you going to be there?
No, I'm not going to be there. No.
hey, since we're talking about announcing, what's your KFKF? Are you getting into radio now? Tell me what's going
That would
on.
be sick.
So what'd you just do? You posted it
Okay,
up. I
all
want to
right.
know about it.
All right, so they had a Voice of KFKF country music station contest. So I entered the contest, and the winner got to interview Michael Tyler, Claire Dunn, and Tate Stevens backstage.
Tate Stevens?
Tate Stevens,
From your hometown?
Yeah.
my hometown.
From my hometown.
Your hometown. You're not.
Yeah,
Where are
technically.
you from?
Well, technically, I'm from Lee Summit.
Yeah.
Technically, that's where I grew up. Majority of my childhood.
So the house you live in now.
It's P Hill,
Is-
right?
Well, technically, yeah. I mean, I guess that'd be Raymore would actually be closer, but the address is supposed to know. Yeah.
Okay. Least I'm in schools. That's where the house you
Yeah.
live now is where you grew up, right?
No.
Or your parents' house?
No.
No. Okay.
I only
never
went to
mind.
school out there 2 years.
Okay, gotcha. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you won the contest. Then what?
So then I got to go, got to do the interview, and it got posted on Facebook.
How did the interview go? Do you feel like it went flawlessly? Because you don't listen to country. You don't listen to music.
I mean, to be 110% honest, before going into this,
Yeah.
when I found out that I had won, I had to do a little bit of research because I have actually heard their songs, but I didn't put two and two together. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I've heard this song. I didn't realize that was Michael Tyler. I didn't realize that was Claire Dunn. I didn't realize.
So did they give you questions for the interview,
No,
or did you have to just
that was
come
the
up with
funniest
it?
part was they didn't tell me all the way up to it, and then we were sitting there. But I just had in the back of my head, I was like, I feel like they're not going to give me questions. So I had already like been thinking about what I wanted to ask them, and so then I was like, "So do you guys have the questions?" And they were like, "Oh no, you have to make up the questions." And that was like, and we're going. So luckily, I had thought that out.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Scott asked me something earlier. About an innovative rider tech tip, which we need to do. Nice. He was like, should I pre-record it or what should we do? And then I just sent him the Bill O'Reilly video. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's all I sent to him.
What
I
is
wish
it?
you'd play that. I wish you
Is it
could play
better
that
than
into
LaCroix?
that right now.
That's terrible.
LaCroix is awful.
What happened
not
to
about
wait.
coordination.
What happened to LaCroix? Why did we just all
I'm
of
a
a
big fan
sudden
of that.
dump it
Because
to
he replaced
Monster?
it with the best beverage on the nation.
Have you had the Dasani ones?
I will 100%
Yeah,
take one of these
Dasani.
over
All of
sparkling water.
Okay, White Monsters and LaCroix have all been around for a very long time. Why did we just all of a sudden one day just give up on them?
Because they're terrible. And
I want to
Monster's
know
not.
when the
Yeah, those are
celebratory
awful.
Coca-Cola cracking is going to be, because I'll be here for that.
Are you a Coca-Cola connoisseur?
He's a cokehead.
Cokehead?
Seriously, it's bad. That's why I got fat.
The entrance of and exit of LaCroix, I don't know. I mean, I'm still on the LaCroix kick. That's the thing. It's like,
Last time I
still
went to the
open
store
Jeff's
for
fridge.
Jeff, I bought him an 8-pack.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, you open Jeff's
I've
fridge
got
and
him.
it's still full of LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Hey,
Yeah.
Croix.
It's just, okay.
You know they have different flavors out in California?
No, they don't.
Well, yeah, they do.
No, dude, I'm telling you, LaCroix only has 10 different flavors.
He's
Period.
Googled
Even in
it.
the skinny tall cans?
Yes.
I've never found the watermelon one anywhere except for at
That's
Hangtown.
the only one I've ever had, and it was terrible.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know. I've got them at my house.
Just
Where
drink
do you
normal
shop?
water.
Hy-Vee.
Bingo.
Just drink normal water. I don't know how you guys drink those.
Because
So
it's
nasty.
water with just some flavor.
Courtney
It's just-
has joined in, and she's making fun of me.
That's fine. She's going to do that.
Good.
She makes fun of you just for existing.
She called me fat lard.
It's okay, dude. I am too. Right now, I've been riding the couch, and all I've been doing is gaining weight.
My
so it's
pants
all
don't
right.
fit me anywhere.
Yep, I had to go buy new ones.
She looked at me really sassy the other day when I was trying to put some pants on and almost broke the button. I was like,
That's
shit.
my wardrobe right
Damn,
now.
dude. I tell you what's really funny is like for a long time, I've been cracking open these for years.
Years.
I've been cracking open these monsters and I used to do it on Snapchat, but I got rid of Snapchat. And since Instagram came out with the stories, I started doing the monster cracking on Instagram. And okay, listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm a trendsetter or a revolutionary because obviously white monsters have been around for a long fucking time. But you guys would not believe my fucking DM inbox. Every person that drinks one of these goddamn things,
I know. I
tags.
know.
Scott knows because he gets them too. Dude, it's insane. Like, if anything, this has been a absolutely major lesson in social media and its value whenever it comes to doing something. It doesn't matter what you do. If you do it, hype it, and repeat, it's going to become a thing. And people are going to start reflecting that. Like, I am the monster cracking guy. That's what I am. So people know that I'm that. So they send me videos of them, like, getting to participate in my little thing that I do. Like, it's now like a thing.
It got to the point where I just kind of quit tagging people because I didn't even know who to tag anymore.
Okay, for like a week, I thought it was really funny how everybody was tagging me in their monster cracking videos, and I was adding it to my story. And then I was like, no, this is getting out of fucking control. It's too much.
It's like a cult.
It really is. Yes.
At first, it was funny. Like, oh, yeah.
The
this
monster
is,
crackers?
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't
You
play
started a
into that
trend.
thing.
You both said some at the same time.
What'd you say?
I just don't play into that kind of stuff.
And Kevin,
I said you started a trend.
okay. I didn't start a trend of drinking monsters. I started a trend of me, and I'm not the first person to crack open a can and then smack my buddies from California did that shit all the time. Jordan Powell, used to do that years ago. Whenever I first met him, every fucking Snapchat video he posted was him getting a beer, cracking it open, and smacking the top of the thing.
Beers.
So it'd be similar in the RC world. There's this guy named Charlie Swanka.
I like his name.
Yes, cool guy. He
Has to be.
used to, every time he'd go on a trip, he would take pictures of his shoes on the airplane.
Okay.
Every time he got on an airplane. And
Yeah.
he traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And now people randomly take pictures of their shoes being like, on my way to whatever race in California, and tag him.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
Yep.
Good.
So
Yeah.
he started that.
See, and it's just once you become synonymous with doing this one thing that people do every day,
Yeah.
then people will give it back to you.
Because he wasn't the first, and he's not going to be the last person to randomly take pictures of his feet while traveling.
Yeah.
But if you know him or are in the industry, you know to tag him.
Yeah.
Because that's his thing.
What are you guys doing over there?
I was
Giggling.
replying.
Comment.
Told Courtney to silence.
Dude, I've never met someone that's so obsessed with his chick as you are.
That's why I married her.
You're
You,
whipped.
you guys are, I mean, beyond two peas in a pod.
Yeah, you should see us at home.
I'd fucking puke.
She hates me.
Yeah, but then again, me and Aubrey are, you know.
No, I'm like if I try to talk to her, she is Satan. It's the opposite.
What? That sounds like a healthy
I
relationship.
was gonna say. I mean, you guys just got married.
It's balanced.
That suit is black knot.
I watch TV downstairs. She watches YouTube upstairs.
Sounds like you're married.
Almost a nightly ritual.
Damn. That's
It's
funny
good.
because
So
me
you
and
watch Netflix?
I have Netflix and chill by myself all the time.
What do you watch?
I just binge watched Making a Murderer season 2.
Oh wow.
it was good.
I was extremely disappointed with the ending.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. Going into it, I hadn't heard shit about Stephen Avery, so I knew how the ending was going.
Whose side are you on?
You guys gonna ruin it for everyone
Yeah, I
else?
was gonna
out
say.
there?
I think I gotta watch this now.
Spoiler alert. I think that no, I'm not gonna give it away.
There's really no spoiler because
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
nothing to give
there's
away.
no
It's a conspiracy.
conclusion. There's no conclusion to the thing.
Well, that's what happens in a virtual reality world.
honestly, I think that Zellner is a good lawyer, and
Yeah.
I think she has a lot of valid points, and she's really good at her job.
Yeah.
However, she was also advantageous about jumping on the Stephen Avery bandwagon, and in turn got herself. I mean, no, I don't know a lawyer's name,
Yeah, now you know her name.
but now I knew who
Kathleen.
Kathleen Zellner is.
Yeah. But I think, I think there's a lot of arrogance with her. I mean, from what they show on it, it looks like she had a lot of stuff to prove that he was innocent.
Yeah.
But how do you know that for the show she didn't pay these scientists off to agree with what, how do you know? You don't know that kind of stuff. So I would have liked to see it go to court and have the case brought up.
I agree entirely.
Because I'm, watching the show, I'm like, okay, it looks like he was framed. It looks like he was set up. But I don't know.
Yeah, the court of public opinion is not in on it either. It seems to be split 50-50.
Yeah. They want him in jail. The prosecution wants him in jail.
A lot of people want him in jail, and a lot of people want him out of jail. Dude, that was... Actually, I'm not going to talk about it, because I don't want to ruin it for people.
Okay. I thought it was good, but I thought the ending to that series, the second season, sucked.
Well, there was no real breakthroughs.
Hopefully there's a third season.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. They're making too much money off of it. Someone is.
Gentlemen, we are cresting up on the 3-hour mark. Shall we... let's
Crest down.
Yeah, let's crest down.
Don't we need to do a tech tip, writer tip?
We're doing it right now.
All right.
Ooh. Are you playing the music?
Nah, we'll just go right into it. Scotty G with Innovative MX, this week's Rider Tech Tip.
All right, since it's so late and we're so late into the podcast, I'm going to make this short and sweet. But we can also go around the table and get one from our fellow guest on the show. But my Innovative MX Rider Tech Tip, is it a tech tip or just a rider tip?
It wouldn't be a tech tip.
It wouldn't
Did
be
I
a
say tech tip?
I think you said tech tip.
Technique tip. Technique tip.
Well, anyways, whatever it is that we're going to call it, because we're not playing the music or know what the technical definition is, my tip for the day would be to not look back for your competition when you're riding. As ridiculous as this sounds, and as much as Dad yells at Junior about it over and over, which I know my dad yelled the same thing, Jeff didn't get yelled at about it because he couldn't turn his head around because of his neck donut, which Mike also wore one, didn't you?
Oh, I sure did.
Mike also was the neck donut bandit. Yes. So anyways, don't look back, all right? What's happening in front of you is the most important part on the track. If you're looking backwards, you're obviously off the throttle and not paying attention to what you're doing. Younger riders have a harder time with it because they want to know what's going on. I see a lot of little bikes will just be off in Wonderland. They'll be watching Grandma Sally off the side of the track as they ride by, or they'll watch somebody riding a pit bike by as they're doing their moto or whatever. Focus on what's ahead of you. Focus on the track so you can charge and keep going forward. Don't look back at your competition because that means you're losing time and you're not going forward. You can't win the race looking behind you.
You know, I've seen some. I don't know if it was Monster Cup or something, but lately I've been seeing a lot of riders do that. I'm like, who is not telling these kids they shouldn't be doing that, and especially in a major event? Like,
It was Monster Cup.
I think it was the
in
80 super mini class. Yeah,
those kids kept looking back.
Yeah, I'm like, quit doing that. You're going forward.
Who was the kid that won that shit?
7-Eleven on a KTM.
Oh,
Never
Max
heard his name
Volan.
before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Volan, yeah.
Dude,
Because we were talking about his dad.
weren't one of the kids in that class setting qualifying times in like the 450 class?
I'm sure they
There's
were.
always
I don't know
like
exactly
one,
for sure.
always
but
like
I'm
one
sure
in
super
the
mini
super
kid.
mini
yeah.
class.
That was
How
like
the
what Austin did when last few times I rode with Austin when he was on a super mini. I think we rode at Tulsa MX one time.
Scorched you.
He was on a super mini. I was on a 450, and he was keeping up. I was like, motherfucker, like I'm quitting.
Dude, Ty Worthington did that
Yes,
to me.
he was. That was. I was just about to say him.
His dad, Ty Worthington's dad,
Dwayne.
got mad. Got literally at Carthage, got mad at me because he beat me, don't get me wrong, but I got the whole shot on him, and I was on an RM250, and he was on a YZ80. And his dad got mad, and then got mad at Ty for not getting the whole shot.
It's unforgivable.
That should not have happened, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least he didn't get beaten, like physically beaten.
Real quick, you were talking about neck donuts?
Yeah.
This was Jeff and I's. We had the biggest debate when we were like on 80s, maybe. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Which direction the opening to the neck donut goes.
JP would comment on
Do
this.
you put it to the front or to the back? Because I wore it. You wore the opening to the back.
I originally first started with it in the front and then quickly turned it around backwards.
See, and I kept it in the front
Yep.
for a long time, and then I think
Then-
I ended
then
up
made
turning
the
it
switch.
out. Yeah.
I am also a culprit of wearing the neck donut.
Oh,
when I
no.
was very little.
Oh,
I think I
no.
remember it. I always wore it to the front. I never knew you put it to the back.
We didn't have like the rodeo vest. Did you
Oh,
ride?
no. I just had I remember it was like that thick.
Are we
No,
talking
but
about
you
Pulliam
wore a
around
bull
the
rider
helmet?
vest, didn't you? A Moto X vest, Moto vest.
I never wore one of those.
What are they?
Maybe
What do
not.
they do?
It looks like a bull rider vest to me. It looks
just
like, it
protects
overheats
your
you.
sides, I guess,
like
a little
a
bit more, but it's
bulletproof vest
too,
for
it's
dirt
too
bikes.
thick. It would be
Useless.
I mean,
Hinder
okay,
me too
it
much.
works good on a little kid, man. It's protective.
For what
okay.
though? What is it? Is it padded?
It's padded. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm
What'd you say?
pretty
Bulletproof
sure-
vest?
Is it a turtle shell? So
life
like
jacket?
you wear like when you break your back? Like what is it?
I'm pretty sure that Brock Lasseter would whip all of our asses with his Moto X vest.
Yeah,
And
because
his
he
neck
still
brace.
wears one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
He's
And
the
if you
only
want to
big
wear
bike
them,
rider I've
wear
ever seen
them.
one.
I don't give a shit. I give you guys the neck donut problem just because it takes me back in time to the good old days, you know?
So moving on, don't look back.
Don't look back. Look
Just
forward.
don't do it.
look back at neck donuts. They're long gone.
So, Junior, when your dad's yelling at you about looking back at the kids you're beating,
Don't do
listen
it.
to him. Don't do it. Don't give him a reason to yell at you. All right?
Kevin
Keep looking
Moran's,
forward.
Do you have a rider technique tip?
Ooh, if I were to say one, it'd be pretty much what I talked about earlier, and that is to when
Don't jump
coming
off.
into don't jump off. Coming into a corner, you should not have to roll back on the throttle until you hit the apex of the corner, or else you're not coming in fast enough. You want to use your momentum through the corner instead of using your brake.
Okay.
That's what I would have to say.
I like that. Nikki P, you realize we've all done motocross schools? like instructed them.
I'd like to add to Scott's and say that everybody should just be aware of everything that's going on the track. Like, I see instances sometimes where like a rider will hit another rider who's down in a rut or something. Usually not anything crazy, or like land on another rider. But I think you should always be, looking ahead, obviously, but being aware, like in each section of the track of like, whether it's the section you're coming up to or the section you across from you, just kind of glancing around, just knowing what's happening, just in case there is a pileup, especially in a race. Just being aware of all of your surroundings, especially like on a local track. California is a good example because you could go to Glen Helen Thursday and you've got every caliber rider on the track from a 50 to Jason Anderson. So being aware is very important in situations like that.
I am going to reiterate what Ryan Hughes says and unlock the hips. And the only way that you can unlock the hips is by correctly using the balls of your feet and your knees against the motorcycle. If you don't hang on with your hands. And a lot of people make that mistake. You don't hold on to the dirt bike with your hands. You hold on to the dirt bike with your knees. And whenever I helped Scott do his classes, whenever we did the mega camp, I fucking drilled it and drilled it and drilled it. Hold on to the bike with your legs, because the majority of the motorcycle is behind the steering stem. Your hands can only control what's in front of the steering stem. And that is a tiny, tiny amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
So grip with your legs.
Grip with your legs.
Look up and be aware.
I'm pretty good at gripping with my legs. But I want to ask about the hips. Now, I mean, I'm aware of like when I ride, like what to do, but like I always hear rotate your hips out. Now, is that like rotating your lower back out? Like, is that what, like when you would visually do that, like rotating your butt down and your lower back out?
It's essentially getting into squat stance. Not quite to such an extreme, but like whenever you're lifting weights and doing a squat.
Or like a football player on a line.
There you go. Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You want a straight back, not an arch back in either direction.
Yes.
A nice straight back, which allows your hips to function correctly.
It's
and because you can take more impact and more sudden jolts in the hips than you can anywhere else.
Yeah, I wanted to add, whenever you go through whoops, it is huge in the whoops if you learn to relax a little bit and just like get your body like that. If you're way too, like if your stomach's pushed out forward and your hips are forward, it's like you feel every whoop.
Yeah.
But then,
Right. Look at every pro rider that hits Supercross. You put them side by side, they look the same.
Yeah.
Every single one of them looks the same.
There's one technique in Supercross whoops.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless you're a French frog.
Which is where you jump through them.
Yeah,
Yep.
you jump through them.
Hippity hoppity, ribbit, ribbit.
Hey, he's still faster than me.
Yep. That's, part of me whenever I used to do motocross schools was realizing that the technique didn't matter as much as the discipline or the structure, like Scott likes to say. And I realized that whenever Jason Lawrence was winning, zero technique. I mean,
All
none.
throttle.
Zero. Yeah, all throttle, zero technique.
Dragging his brake way late into the turn, wide open on the gas.
Doing every single thing wrong. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, there's many ways to ride a dirt bike.
Done.
Yeah.
It can be done anyway, and the biggest thing is just finding what works best for you. All four of us ride differently. Jeff and I ride pretty close to the same.
A big thing is, like, if you can ride with the proper technique, you can ride a lot more efficient and a lot longer. Because I am used to riding multiple times a week. And then up until, the end of the summer, I stopped riding as much. And then I went on vacation. I got married, went on vacation. I hadn't ridden for 2 months. Well, we went and rode, and I did like 4 30-minute, I wouldn't say motos because I wasn't just hammering laps, but I went out and rode for 30, 40 minutes straight each time. I didn't get tired because my technique is pretty good. Now, if I was, sloppy and my, legs weren't tight, oh man, 3 laps in, I'd be arm pump and, technique is everything. So, the older I get, the more efficient I try to ride with just the proper
Dial in your
techniques.
technique, and then the speed comes.
And that's where
how it
Scott
goes.
comes in.
Boys, I gotta end it because the file will get too large and it won't upload. So go to kansasmx.com and anticipate the 2019 Kansas Motocross Championship Series scheduled to be released somewhere around the new year. Visit bar2barmx.com or their Instagram at bar2bar and keep tabs of whenever they're going to have open practices. It will pretty much be the only place to ride during the winter within a couple hours because it's the only sand track that we've got. And it's not even in Kansas City, it's in Wichita, but what's 2.5, 3 hours whenever, you can ride on 40-degree day. And also, be sure to attend the Donnell's Christmas party coming up here.
Big
shortly.
announcement. Yeah, we got to talk about that coming up. Is it a Christmas party or just?
No,
At the shop.
Yeah, at the shop. Yeah, go follow
Annual.
the annual Donnell's Christmas party. Donnell's Motorcycles Inc.com. I think I don't know.
Google.
I think it's just
Motorcycles.
Donnell'sMotorcycles.com.
Yeah.
And they have Instagram as well.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, check them out, and make that your first consideration whenever you're going to buy a Honda, Suzuki, Can-Am, Husky.
Husqvarna.
I said Can-Am.
They
Not
don't sell
Can-Am.
Can-Am.
CF Moto.
Yeah, CF Moto.
Beta.
Scratch that.
Beta. That I keep thinking. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All the good stuff.
And New Fox. Kevin,
Can I say something before we get off?
you already did.
Yep. Okay. Well, I just want to give a special thanks, big shout out to my dad and my mom and my brother for all that they do for me, and especially to Randy for the whole team sticking behind me with Custom Power Sports and sticking behind me through the injury and everything like that, and Chuck Martin and Jacob Martin for busting his butt and helping me down there at the farm. And recovery's going well, and hopefully be back down at the farm by New Year. That's about it.
That's Kevin's press release.
It is. Just got to give a shout out when they
Right
earn
here. You heard
For
it
sure.
first
Yeah.
on OTV.
They do a lot for me, so
On Masterpiece Theater.